What is up, everybody? What is up, everybody? This is Extrodin back again with yet another video. I'm not alone as usual. I'm with Rob Sibeko. He is an author. He's a director. He's a writer. He actually has a book out called Jin's War. Please get yourself a copy. Let's go back to reading, guys. Let's go back to reading. Do you remember reading Goosebumps? Do you guys remember reading like your Treasure Island? Do you guys remember reading Tom Sawyer or whatever you were reading back in the day? Let's get back to that habit. Obviously, times have changed. You can get it. You can get an ebook now, which I think is a better option because hard copies can get damaged by water, rain, can get lost. Then you don't have it anymore. But with an ebook, you can still access it so long as you have like iCloud storage or you can email it to yourself or whatever. So get yourself a copy. It's just $50. It's cheaper than what's this? You said it's a Big Mac or what? Did you say it's a Big Mac?
Yeah.
It's cheaper than that. So get yourself that, and I think you will learn a thing or two. So yeah, please do check it out. What is African Frame? African Frame is basically a podcast where we dissect films. We analyze films. If you remember DVD commentary back in the day when you would watch a DVD, well, if you used to look at special features on your DVD, there used to be like commentary where you watch a film, but then you dissect everything, the scenes, what the director was thinking, what the actor was going through, some trivia and stuff like that. So that's basically what we do here. We don't do shot for shot, as in like show you the visuals, but we do explain what happens in the story and then we try to break it down. If you're new, you can just hit the notification bell icon so that you can get notified of any other videos that might be coming out in the future. And those who have been checking us out for a while, thank you so much, guys. So appreciate it. We see the views. I mean, Rob and I were checking some views the other time, and we're seeing that we're getting a nice number of views in a day. So we thank you so much, guys. We truly appreciate it. Let us know which movie review has been your favorite so far. We have noticed that the Jackie Chan one, Police Story, has done crazy numbers. I think it's currently at like 6.2, I think 6.2 views, 6,200 views. So thank you so much. Let us know where you're from, because I have a feeling that it's not just people from South Africa. I'm sure other people from other countries are actually checking us out. So we truly appreciate you guys. So today we're going to be doing a film. Probably this is the first Eddie Murphy film that we've done. We have spoken about Eddie Murphy before, but we haven't really done an Eddie Murphy film. I think this is one of his earlier works. It's Beverly Hills Cop, the very first one. Obviously, this spanned in the long run, it spanned some sequels, and there's a new one that's coming out soon. I think it's Beverly Hills 4. It's called Alex Foley. It's basically the character's name and surname. But the first one came out in 1984, and it had a budget of $13 million and made $234 million at the box office. One of the people who produced this movie is Jerry Bruckheimer. Rob and I have spoken about Jerry Bruckheimer before. Jerry Bruckheimer has produced films such as Bad Boys. I think the first Bad Boys film, if I'm not mistaken.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Top Gun.
Yep. I think he did The Rock as well. I believe that was him.
Yes, The Rock. And The Rock was also directed by Michael Bay, as well as Bad Boys. Even Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor was directed by Michael Bay, so he also.
He's got directors he likes, clearly.
Yeah. And Enemy of the State had Will Smith in it as well.
Okay, yeah.
Also, he's produced a lot of CSI stuff, crime scene investigation, Miami, New York, cyber. He's produced Cold Case, Without a Trace, and the American version of Amazing Race. This man, I guess, knows how to choose his projects. He chooses the right ones.
A little bit of everything everywhere, yeah. How you handle money. You know how like war is managed. They say like the key to war is logistics. he's like the logistics guy for all these films, basically. You know what I mean?
The key to war is logistics.
Yeah.
I've never heard that. It's the first time hearing that.
Yeah, well, think about it. The reason America beat Japan in World War II was because they used their ships better. Because Japan would build giant ships, America would build smaller ships that would do almost as much damage, but they'd have like 5 of them. They'd do much damage, but they'd have 5 of them. Built faster, ends up overwhelming the bigger ships. And that was like, so, and also movement of troops, movement of things, even in the ancient Roman days. The Romans, what they used to do, how they used to win, when they moved, they used to build roads behind them. So that way, whenever they went somewhere, there was a nice smooth road for stuff to come back and forth. So, you know what I mean? It's that cleverness.
What the hell, bro?
Yeah, it's that level of cleverness. So I feel like Jerry Bruckheimer is obviously a very smart money guy. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I mean, because if you think about it, Michael Bay and Will Smith were bankable people. Yeah. I mean, Will Smith was a bankable star at the time, and Michael Bay was a bankable director. I mean, when you look at The Rock, you look at Pearl Harbor, and you look at Bad Boys, those are probably one of Michael Bay's biggest films to date.
Oh, definitely.
You know, so he was very smart about that.
And The Rock felt like they probably was like, you know what, this is affordable, we can do it. Because I think The Rock wasn't his first one. Bad Boys was his first one. Michael Bay. Which one did he do first again?
No, I don't think. Wait, because was he doing commercials before?
Yes, he did commercials first. Yes.
Right. Then after commercials, I think was it Bad Boys? I'm not sure.
I'm 70% sure that it. Nah, can't remember. But point is like, it's like affordable things. How I would argue that Thingamajig is more affordable actually. The Rock is probably more affordable.
Right.
Yes, but at the same time, it's clever, because again, it's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's a cleverness to it. Like,
you're right. Bad Boys was his first.
Yeah, and then.
You know, it's amazing what that movie did for Martin and Will Smith. Martin was already doing films. I mean, he was in Do the Right Thing, I think. He was in Boomerang. I think he was in Kid and Play. What's that movie again with Kid and Play? There's been could say a reboot of sorts, a soft reboot of sorts.
What I can really think
is it House Party or something like that? I think he was in House Party.
Sure about that one.
Yes, I think he was in House Party, and I think he was also in.
But the big one I know is that other one with that lady with the love.
The thin line between love and hate.
I think that's it. Yes.
With Lynn Whitfield, right?
Yeah. Now that was the one where you're like, oh god damn, Martin can really pick it.
Yeah, you could say it's like the original Gone Girl type of situation. In a way, not really.
He isn't Do the Right Thing, yes, exactly. And House Party, Kid and Play, yes.
Yeah, I mean, you know what people don't know about Martin Lawrence is he was a boxer. Like before he went into comedy and acting.
Yes.
Thin
line between love and hate.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. Yeah, with Lynn Whitfield. By the way, that woman is in her 70s, but she looks nothing like she doesn't even look that age, bro. She looks like she's still in her 50s, 60s, which is crazy.
Exactly. That's like the definition of black don't crack. But funny enough, he was already doing Martin before Bad Boys. And Boomerang and Martin were actually close together, both 1992. Both started 1992. That's surprising to me.
Boomerang
and Martin, the TV series.
Martin was in 1982.
Yeah, according to this, it started in 1982, yeah, and then ended in 1997.
No way. 1982?
No, 1992.
Oh, 1990, yes. 1992 makes sense. Yeah, makes sense.
7, which is the same year as Boomerang. I wonder which one came first.
Wait, Boomerang was in 97?
No, 92.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so 92, 92.
I'm sure Boomerang came out first. I'm sure it came out. But yeah, going back to what we're talking about now, Jerry Bruckheimer.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the producer of this. And it seems like, I could be wrong, I don't know. But it seems like his stuff is like based in the west side of America. I mean, Beverly Hills. Where's Miami? Is Miami in the West?
California type stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. But it's just something that I think I'm noticing now as you speak. But I guess I need to sit down and think about that.
That's the thing we have to follow carefully, yeah, to like really see, because it's one of those things where it's like maybe I don't know actually.
Yeah, where's Miami?
We're in California, so it would be the West. What's the Pacific Ocean?
Because there's CSI Miami, right? But there's also New York, so.
Exactly. I think they all started accumulating over time. You know what I mean? Like I think, no, Vegas was the first. Was the first one, isn't it? Vegas came first.
This is when you're watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and you have to call a friend. This is the moment where I have to call my girlfriend because she would have said, dude, this is the first, like she's like a huge CSI fan. But I think Vegas wasn't it like a sequel? I don't know.
I want to say Vegas came first, then it was the that one.
That's Miami, right?
Yes.
No, but
Miami is Florida.
No, but the first one wasn't the first one just CSI. Just CSI.
Vegas. One, I think just CSI is in Vegas, set in Vegas.
Yes.
And then of course the other CSI is if it's Miami, then it's Florida then. Which means in the next one would be
New York.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sure the California one though.
No.
It has to be, right?
I don't think so.
You're right, it's Miami, which is Florida, of course. Then it's New York. How about
that? Wait, where's Florida though?
Florida's is basically
because I know what's this? I know Atlanta's in the south, right?
Atlanta is Georgia, which is
it's the south.
Yes. Well, yeah, it's the south, but now what part of the south?
I don't know.
Shit. I know this stuff.
So Florida is the southeastern region.
Yeah. It's from the edge. So
it borders the Gulf of Mexico. Oh, I see. All right.
Town, Florida share an ocean, and then
what's that?
Side is California. Huh?
What did you say?
I said technically they share an ocean. It's the Atlantic, I believe.
What was that? Mexico and Florida.
No, us. South Africa, Cape Town, that on that side.
Yeah.
Florida I think they share an ocean.
What?
Let me just check. Let me check my map. I'm sure on my shit. But let's have a look here.
Florida's major population centers include Tampa Bay, Orlando, Cape Coral.
Yeah, it's the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
And then Georgia is, Georgia's right next to Florida. So yeah, it's literally north of Florida. Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Yep. And then California's on the other side, which is the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, no.
Yep. And then New York is also Atlantic Ocean. That's how I remember it. Like east and west, I get.
But it's the east, right? New York.
Yeah. Atlantic Ocean. So that would be the east, yes. And then California is on the other side. So yes, that would be the west. Which is like what, a 4-hour difference, right? In terms of time. I think it's like a 2-hour, 3-hour difference.
What, between New York and California?
Yeah. That's why they'll always be like so and so time.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because I know, I didn't even know that was a thing until I watched this movie with Drew Barrymore and Justin Long. You remember they were dating at a point, but they had a movie where they were actually a couple. I forgot the name of it. I'll just put a reference when I edit this. But I didn't know that there's like our differences in America. I thought it's all the same.
Oh yeah. Technically, South Africa, we should have an hour difference.
With Cape Town, right?
Yeah. Because I swear to God, dog, 8 o'clock, sun is still shining.
I think we do actually. I don't think it's a big thing, but I think we do have a different time zone with Cape Town, if I'm not mistaken.
You know what I mean? Not literally. Like, there's no one has written, okay, so and so Cape Town time versus Pretoria time.
Yeah.
Actually, in reality, there should be one.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think people who don't live here don't understand that it's an achievement for 7 o'clock to hit with the sun still shining over here. But in Cape Town, you can watch Generations while still looking at the sun.
That's crazy, bro.
It's craziness, yeah.
Sorry, man. There's an airplane that's flying way close to.
Not even near an airport. I never understand that shit.
So if anybody's hearing that, we sincerely apologize. I mean, these are things that you don't even think would happen, but hey.
Oh, definitely.
So going back to the film,
directed by Martin Brest, which is a very shocking name. I'm like, is that his name?
What the hell is Martin Brest, bro?
Oh, this man directed Meet Joe Black. That took me by surprise.
Oh, what?
And he directed Scent of a Woman, the Al Pacino movie, the one that like got him an Oscar or something. So this guy's,
yeah, I think wasn't like Pacino like a blind lawyer or something?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly the one.
Right.
Because I was like, there's a couple shots here that I mentioned where I'm like, hot damn, I didn't see that coming. So I was like, oh my god, okay. Yeah, he's only done like, okay, he did the, okay, I see why his career ended.
Oh, he did Jiggly.
Yep, that's why his career ended, right there. That's why it's his last movie.
But wait, like, guys, I haven't watched Jiggly, ne? So I can't defend it even if I try. Is it that bad?
It's got a 2.6, dude. Look at all this nigga's IMDb stuff. It is Midnight Run, which is a classic, 7.5. Beverly Hills Cop, 7.4. Scent of a Woman, 8. Meet Joe Black, 7.2. Gigi, 2.6.
No, but look, I don't get why that would end his career. After such, I mean, dude, there are film directors that have done worse than probably Jiggly, but they're still working today.
For Madam Web, they're still out here doing their best.
Dude, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they did Morbius, and they did Prince, and they did Gods of Egypt, and they somehow still got a paycheck.
It's the same, right? As I know, right? And they keep getting jobs, bro. And didn't they write like Craven the Hunter as well or something?
I wouldn't be surprised. At this point, they clearly they've got people's names.
Yeah, they have connections out there.
Names. They know who went to Epstein's Island. They know who went there.
Yeah, but anyway, going back to this, like,
yeah,
I remember just watching like bits and pieces of Jiggly, and Justin Bartha is in it. So for those who do not know, Justin Bartha is the guy who gets kidnapped in The Hangover. That dude. Yes. It's actually a title that I forgot. Like, I remember doing research like more than 10 years ago. There's actually a title of a false protagonist, like someone you think is the main protagonist but actually isn't. And they use Justin Bartha's role in The Hangover as an example, because when it starts, you think, oh, okay, this guy's the leading man. You know, he has the look. He's an experienced actor, and then boom, it's like these other three guys. Like, one of them is Zach, who was in True Calling. I started knowing him from True Calling before I watched him in any other thing. And then I didn't know Ed Helms at the time, and then obviously Bradley Cooper, but he wasn't big then. He wasn't that huge. So it was just weird to be following these other guys. You know what I mean?
But it's great. It's a nice subversion. I like stuff like that.
Definitely. I think if they were going to show Justin Bartha in other scenes without, just with him having his own adventures or whatever, while being kidnapped or whatever, then he still would have been the main character. Because it's about him anyway. But nope, dude was like, probably went there to shoot for like a week and then that's it.
Yeah, it bounced, yeah.
Yeah.
Easy paycheck.
Hey, bro. Anyway, yeah, so J-Lo, Ben Affleck, and Al Pacino, and Justin Bartha. I don't know. Hopefully we'll review it one day.
Yeah, one day, just to be like, what went wrong here? Yeah.
Yeah. But he's 72 years old, huh?
Yep. And his last movie was like 20 years ago. That's wild.
That's weird. But I'm sure he's making money from residuals or something. And he's probably doing some behind the scenes stuff that we have no idea about. And then so the film stars Eddie Murphy. I think we need to give this man his props. And I know we've spoken about him, but I don't think we've really spoken about him. Like, okay, so Eddie Murphy, I think he got his big break on SNL, Saturday Night Live, when he used to do parodies of characters such as Buckwheat from The Little Rascals, like an older version of Buckwheat, right? I don't know about you, maybe I could be wrong, but I think he's one of the most successful comedians to come out of SNL to become like a global sensation, to become a household name. Obviously, I think there's probably Chevy Chase as well, and there's probably like Adam Sandler.
That's a tricky part now, because I would say, because I would argue with this, and I feel like Adam Sandler's though. Oof. Because here's the thing, Eddie Murphy, first of all, as a black guy already, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But let's ignore that, just in general, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
As the best, I think Adam Sandler has managed to maintain relevance more than Eddie Murphy, but I still think Eddie Murphy is bigger, if that makes sense.
No, he is. That's what I'm saying. One off.
I would say it's like comparing Michael Jordan to LeBron. You could say Adam Sandler is LeBron.
Mm.
You know, they stayed 20 years in the thing, whereas Michael Jordan stayed like, what, 15 years? Got 6 in a row, nailed it, and then left. But
yeah. No, you're right. I agree with you. I completely agree with you with that mindset. I don't think you're wrong at all. I don't know. I don't know if maybe you guys can correct us in the comments, but I think Eddie Murphy is probably the biggest star out of SNL. I don't know if Chevy Chase started in SNL or even if he was there.
Even because here's the thing, Chevy Chase was big, and he's got some great stuff.
Yeah.
But you can't compare it to Eddie Murphy. I think Eddie Murphy is objectively bigger. Yes.
Not even Bill Murray can be compared to Eddie Murphy. And I don't even think Bill Murray started at SNL. I don't think so. It probably started elsewhere. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I mean, don't get me wrong, National Lampoon, those are obviously great stuff.
Yeah.
But Shrek probably outdoes National Lampoon.
Yeah.
So it's already over.
Oh, dude, I didn't even think of Shrek. And even when you mentioned Shrek, I was trying to find the connection because I was thinking about Mike Myers. This guy played the donkey, bro.
Donkey!
And I'm sure the donkey money that came in, though, because I remember Chris Rock when he was talking about how I think like the residuals is getting from the zebra from Madagascar, like paying like his kids' school fees or something.
Exactly. Beverly Hills Cops was massive.
Yes. 48 hours?
48 hours was big, definitely. Don't get me wrong. I feel like it redefined buddy cop movies. Massive impact, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Coming to America.
Dr. Doolittle, coming to America.
I'm still like focused on the 80s now before we even go to the 90s. Like this is the 80s.
To measure Chevy Chase's hits, those Eddie Murphy's hits. And I think because again, Chevy Chase, it's National Lampoon, which is
it's like what vacation movies, right?
But at the same time, I feel like what we're talking about, because again, National Lampoon is something everyone knows.
Yes. Wait, was Chevy Chase on SNL?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, you did what? Yes, I thought you. Yes.
Yeah, he became the breakout cast member in the first season of SNL.
Yes.
The first.
Unfortunately, he had a bit of a reputation, but yeah.
Later on, right? I think he said some racial slurs or something.
Okay, no, not that. I'm talking about just he's got a bad attitude. People thought he was a jerk. Like maybe he's a bit. I don't want to say too honest. I don't want to say that's the right word, but yeah, let's just say he says things.
He's old school, basically.
Yeah. And then, of course, Caddyshack was probably the big breakout one for him.
Right.
Caddyshack was probably what rocked his world, was rocked all our worlds, and then Thingamajiggy. So yeah, Caddyshack and National Lampoon. Can you even think of another stuff?
No, I can't.
Yeah, it's the Vacation series, and then of course, don't forget Caddyshack, the Vacation series. Of course, the Three Amigos. Oh my God, that's my childhood right there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember the Three Amigos.
It sounds familiar, but I haven't seen any of his stuff. Like, I think I've seen Vacation, one of the Vacation. Obviously, the children kept being recast. But I think I would say Vacation, and then I've seen him on Community, but he was a lot older then. So.
Oh yeah, of course, that was him already done.
Yeah.
But legit, those were the ones that really rocked everyone's world. You know what I mean?
No, definitely. Look, I mean, SNL produced, or rather discovered, a lot of talent. Let's not lie. I mean, you have people like Kristen Wiig, Maya Rudolph. You have Tina Fey.
Yes.
Is it Amy Poehler? Chris Rock.
Of course, Chris Rock.
David Spade, Tracy Morgan, and Andy Samberg. Keenan, bro. But Keenan was already from like Nickelodeon, so
Ben Stiller, I even forgot about.
Ben Stiller's from Saturday Night Live. But I know even Seth Meyers is from Saturday Night Live. So yeah. But anyway, I just wanted us to just give this man his credit, I mean, we're just talking about the 80s. I mean, he also did what? He did those comedy specials. I think he did. What's the other one where he was wearing red? What's that one called again?
Okay, yeah, comedy specials are Raw and
Because Raw, I think he was wearing purple or gray.
Purple and Raw, and then in Red he was wearing
what's that other one?
You know, oh my god, I know it because it's the two biggest stand-up shows of all time.
Yes.
And they were so big that this man retired basically.
Yeah, and I think he held a record or something of the seats, right, that were occupied. I think is it Delirious?
Delirium. There we go. Delirious or Delirium? Yes, Delirious.
I don't know which one is the bigger one between Delirious or Raw, but I know like
I think the more famous one is Delirious, but Raw is probably the biggest one. Like that one made
it's the most spoken about, I think, no?
Yes, because basically the audience, because again, if you're talking about the largest audience, it has to be Delirious. Because Raw, if you watch I don't know if you've ever seen Raw.
I've seen Raw. It's as if it's like a small club.
Exactly. It's like shot in like a nightclub. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Delirious is shot in a mega arena.
Delirious, dog. It looks like an auditorium.
Yes, that thing is huge.
Yeah. So I wonder if Raw came out first or Delirious, because with Delirious he looks a bit younger.
Raw.
Yeah, Delirious he looks younger.
Yes.
But obviously, the 90s, like you were saying, he did Dr. Dolittle, he did like The Nutty Professor, which is a remake. The Nutty Professor is a remake. I think it's something that people don't know.
Yeah, of that famous comedian who could basically do what this man does, but not at that same way. I think every single character.
He did Metro as well. Remember Metro? I think he did Vampire in Brooklyn in the 90s as well.
Yes. I think Distinguished Gentleman is a movie that's kind of so good that it's coming back up to people's minds right now.
Distinguished Gentleman, is that the one with Red Fox and Richard Pryor?
It's the one where he goes to the Wall Street. He goes to Wall Street, and it's such a cool thing because people didn't even know what they were talking about in that day, because like his job is to sell commodities, and it's like there's this cool thing on TikTok where it's like coming back and it's like coming famous because none of us, because to this day those things are still talked about, they're still being done. Basically, I don't know if you know what commodities are. I hope I'm saying the right thing, but basically it's this thing where a farmer produces stocks, right?
Yes.
Well, produce stuff. So what you do is you almost bet on how much you're gonna make. So you invest money, you pre-buy his stock.
Right.
So and then he like sells it at a price that he thinks it's gonna be at, and then you accept or you don't accept that. And then if you oversell, then you make money. You know what I mean? Like if you dude, you have to watch the thing. You have to watch the clip. It's so interesting because it shows how like the market is so above people's head. You know what I mean? Like how.
Thinking about Wall Street.
Yeah. How it works.
No, please send it to me. I do have a very limited idea of Wall Street because of like that movie Too Big to Fail.
Oh, okay.
And also I think there was a documentary about Warren Buffett that also gave me an idea. But I mean, the more you learn, the more you watch, the more you learn. So I would definitely like to watch that. That's the thing about Eddie Murphy, man. I think in the 80s and 90s, he chose his movies very, like he made sure. Because when I was watching Beverly Hills Cop yesterday, in my head I was thinking, I wonder how these scripts kept coming to him. I do know he produced some of his own stuff, but how did some of these things come to him? Like he must have had a great agent. Hey?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I argue about Golden Child. I'm assuming he fired that agent at that time.
I wanted to say, look, for me, Golden Child is not horrible.
It's not horrible, but my God, what happened?
Like nobody really talks about it, but it's not horrible.
It's not the worst thing that's ever existed.
Yeah,
at the same
it's
time,
one of those.
It is definitely a blip. Can you agree on that? It's
100%, 100%. And then
which one is worse, 10,000 words or Golden Child?
Nah, I think Golden Child is worse, bro. But the thing is, 10,000 words has a message.
Mm.
What's the Golden Child about, dog? It's just about him finding a kid.
Yeah, something like that. That's special. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think okay. Now, fair enough. Fair enough. That is true.
um,
But
I
yeah,
don't know. I feel like I'm forgetting a major movie that he did in the
Metro
80s.
is a cop again. Is also not a bad one at all.
Yeah, Metro. Yeah.
And then of course, I put dishonor on your family. I put dishonor on your cow. Mulan.
Oh, Mulan, yeah. Mulan, baby.
Gotta love that one.
I really thought that dragon was gonna be in the Disney live action, but I guess they wanted to respect the Asian.
And then they put a Phoenix instead. Phoenix is not even that big. You know, Asians weren't happy about that movie either way.
It's kind of like with the Greeks when Hercules came out, the animated. They were not happy at all.
And they were not happy about that stuff. This remix the hell out of that. Yeah. Don't forget Bowfinger. That's it's so funny.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Bowfinger as well. Yeah, with Steve Martin, right?
Oh yes. I legitimately picked up it was on sale for $20.
Mm-hmm.
Old scratch DVD or something like that I found in a store in a bargain bin. Dog, I watched that movie 50 times. It was so good. I haven't even watched it
once.
Huh?
I haven't even watched it once. I've only watched like clips. Like on SABC3, I've only watched like end and stuff.
Dude, it's surprisingly good. Like Steve Martin is just yeah. God,
okay, please do me a favor. Name me one bad movie from Steve Martin that you can think of.
I can't think of anything, man. I love Father of the Bride.
Bingo.
Yeah, I love all of Steve Martin stuff, man.
Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yeah, of course.
There's a movie where he has a long nose, like Pinocchio type of like Usopp nose.
Oh, where he's like a poet. Oh shit! It's a great one. I forgot what it's called.
Even Bringing Down the House was a good one. Yeah. I was actually thinking about him earlier that it seems like he has, I don't know how many movies he has with Eugene Levy, but I know Eugene Levy was in Bringing Down the House and he was in Cheaper by the Dozen too with Steve Martin. So.
And how often those him and like Martin Short, I think they also work together a lot.
Right.
They are like buddies in arms or something. I think what I love about comedians is how they all know each other.
Right. It's like like how Robin Williams, Whoopi Goldberg, and Billy Crystal were like a trio.
Yeah. Crazy. Like you just mentioned, I think that Eugene Levy. I forgot who. No, it's not him. There's another guy who I just found out he's like one of those guys like the weird voice and he like hangs around with all these comedians. I forgot his name now. If I mention him, you'll know him.
And he's been doing it.
Yeah, and this man out here just on with Bill Burr, and it turns out they're best friends. You're like, how did that happen? Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of vibe where like you guys all know each other. It's like it's so cool.
I think that's why I appreciate podcasts so much. Because podcasts make you realize certain things that you otherwise wouldn't have known. You know what I mean? Like for instance, when you realize that Gary Owen, Gary Owen, the comedian, right?
Yeah, of course.
Like Gary Owen is friends with so many people, dog. Like this guy knows like Phase on Love, he knows like so you're like, whoa. And then they're talking about like, back in the day at the comedy club and at the improv theater or whatever. Like, whoa, what?
It's crazy. When did you guys? Yeah, I love it. I love it. And they always have like because John Lovitz. There we go. John Lovitz.
John Lovitz sounds familiar. I just can't picture. I put the face to the name.
He was in the roast of Charlie Sheen. That was fun. I don't know if you remember that. Did you ever watch those roast things?
I think I watched the Justin Bieber one.
Okay. The Charlie Sheen was probably the best one. Like there's this joke he tells. He's like, do you know how much cocaine Charlie Sheen did? Enough to kill 2.5 men.
Oh. Wait, I think I know John Lovitz. Does he does he always wear a cap or something? I'm just trying to find his.
I can find him for you.
I'm gonna find his face, yeah.
Those ones where you see him, you know him, man. Because like one of the.
Funny enough, John. Okay, I know him. John Lovitz was actually considered to play one of the characters in Bad Boys before they cast Martin and
Serious?
I'm dead serious.
Why?
He was I guess he was probably either meant to be Mike Lowry or Marcus.
Okay, I'm guessing this one they were still thinking of making it white people or something.
And they were like, it would have been a good movie, but I don't think it would have been as iconic.
That is true.
Yeah.
Would not have been as iconic, not as legendary at all. But at the same time, it's still cool, man.
Yeah, more easy though.
I said he was on a thing with Bill Burr, where you're like, Jesus. And
Well,
then
at a point he started doing like films with Happy Madison. At a point. I mean, he was in Hotel Transylvania 1 and 2.
Yes.
You remember that? Is it Benchwarmers with David Schwimmer? Where he was like this rich guy that had a robot, that owned a robot.
You're right. I don't know it though.
Then we should watch it then.
Yeah, clearly.
He was in The Producers. Robsy would be happy about that.
Yes.
And I remember him in Red Race, where he was this dad who was broke, but like acting like he was rich or something like that.
He's such a flippin' Rat Race, probably where I remember him the best.
Yeah, me too.
Rat Race, probably. Yes. He was in Cats and Dogs.
Who was he voicing in Cats and Dogs?
Huh? I can't remember. You was
voicing?
Palico. I forgot which voice that is. They don't have pictures next to the things, otherwise I would just see.
I need to watch Cats and Dogs. A friend of mine used to tell me all the time that there's a line where the dog doesn't say son of a bee. He's like, son of my mom.
But it'd be interesting to find out if it holds up, because that is obviously a movie that is like a kid's movie from like just after our childhoods. But I don't know, man. Like we probably would have been teenagers when that came out, I think.
What's your thought about like anthropomorphic animal movies? And I'm not talking about like the Fox and the Hound. Oh, no, not really the Fox and I'm not talking about like 101 Dalmatians or not even 101 Dalmatians. I'm not talking about like Robin Hood, Disney's Robin Hood or the Jungle Book. I'm talking about like Cats and Dogs, for instance. Or what's your take on those kind of movies? Mama, isn't there like a Marmaduke or something like that?
Let me put it like this: if they ever give me a story that's interesting, like let me give you an example. If they ever make a story like all dogs go to heaven, but like a live action version.
Oh, that would be sick.
I would watch the hell out of that.
That would be insane. I feel like that's a movie that should have been Disney, but isn't.
Yeah, clearly. They would have made that into real life by now if it had Disney money on it.
100%.
Oh, it would have been bad though right now. The way Disney's making stories. Like, I swear to God, we need to do like a Pixar combination where you watch like an old school Pixar movie plus a modern one.
Yeah.
You can see. Even with this one, I feel like there's a comment I make where I'm like, they don't make movies like this anymore. So I'm scared they ruin it. But then again, I would still watch the hell out of it. Same thing with Babe. Babe is a masterpiece as far as I'm concerned. I even like the sequel.
Babe in the Big City.
Yeah, I even love that one with the fucking with the dog.
Right.
What are those dogs called again? Apparently they're terrifying.
A hound.
No, man. No.
Which dogs are you talking about?
I think they're called. Let me just make sure.
The one that people call the Chinese dog.
I didn't know. No, not a Doberman. Okay. What the hell is it called?
I don't know, bro.
No, man. I know you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure of it.
But you know what I'm talking about? Like when people say call it a Chinese dog. I don't know where they get that from. I don't know why they call it a Chinese dog, but let me see if I can. If I get a Chinese dog.
Can't be a border collie. That just sounds too nice.
Wait.
Let me just check. No, it's not a border collie. No, I thought so. That's a nice sounding dog.
Okay, that's not actually what I was looking for.
What is this brutal dog's name?
Wait, it's brutal. Are you talking about a pit bull?
No, not a pit bull. But yes, but it's let me put it like this: you get pit bulls that are considered scary, Rottweilers are considered scary, and this dog is short, but it's also considered scary. Oh, what it's called?
I think I know.
Bull terrier. Bull.
Oh, bull terrier. Oh.
Yeah, people consider those dogs scary for some reason because that whole because of the fold of its nose or whatever.
Right.
Kind of reminds me of like he's got a broken nose.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. Well, coca, see, like in the hood.
Oh yeah.
That's what people
What a
call
Chinese
a
dog.
Chinese dog. I don't know why the.
I am so curious about the racism involved in that name.
Hey, dude. I sincerely apologize if this feels racist. Sincerely apologize. I don't know why they call it that.
Dude,
But
as a South African that's grown up in South Africa, and
it actually originates even in England. So I don't even know. Like, look, I don't want to make it seem like everybody in the hood said this. It's just some few people that I knew that said this when we were kids.
Yeah.
And you know, when we were kids, there was no Google.
Yeah,
So,
of course. Of course.
yeah.
But yeah, dog.
Guys, please, we apologize. We don't.
Don't worry, man. I'll be like that. I'm curious though. Yes.
But anyway,
I
don't even know how we got to bull terriers.
don't know how we got to bull terriers, dude. We went from John Levitt's to bull terriers.
Oh, we're talking about movies. You know, like Snow Dogs. I haven't even watched Snow Dogs, but I know it exists.
Oh yes, the one with Cuba Gooding Jr. before his career exploded. Oh no, that's 8 Degrees.
No, it had already exploded. I think he was just going through the Oscar curse, because apparently, after winning the Oscar, he started rejecting calls from like your Spielbergs and stuff. Like, dude, this is Spielberg. Like, why would you reject?
Are you being for real? You think that's when he got hit?
Not necessarily Spielberg, but I mean like heavyweights wanted to work with him on certain projects, and he was just turning it down because he had an ego, I guess.
But it wasn't like he hadn't started doing the stuff. You know how it is at that time.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's right. Snow Dogs was Cuba Gooding Jr. and then 8 Degrees Below was Paul Walker.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
What's the difference? You know, there's also something that I wanted us to talk about. Similar concept movies.
Oh yeah.
You know, kind of like I think we made an example with White House Down versus
Olympus Has Fallen. Yes.
Has Fallen. Oh, there's another one, with Katie Holmes. She's the president's daughter. And the other one was with Mandy Moore as the president's daughter. I think they came out around the same time.
Oh, that's interesting.
Let me see quickly.
The one I know is the asteroid, Armageddon, and Impact Point. Impact.
I don't know those.
Impact. There we go. Came out the same year, and they both involve an asteroid coming to hit the Earth.
So there's First Daughter with Katie Holmes.
Okay.
And then there's Chasing Liberty with Mandy Moore. So I don't know if there's like script leaks or whatever, but
David Fincher once talked about this once, where he talks about what'll happen is this is how he describes it is. Let's say, for example, the movie It came out, right? You remember It?
Yeah.
Then it makes a lot of money. So then a bunch of studio executives go, "Yo, guys, do we have any scripts involving a clown?" And then they all look in their studios for like saved movies, or they all look in their studio for saved scripts involving a clown. And they're like, here we go.
Because I know there's a term for it. I forgot what it's called, where there's scripts that have been buried for decades. Yeah. That haven't been picked up. Then they get picked up like in moments like these, for instance.
And then, of course, you also get parallel thinking. That's also a viable option.
What's that?
Parallel thinking is when it's a coincidence.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Where, there's the one Bugs Bunny, and then Sylvester, and Tom and Jerry, sorry.
So Sylvester and Tutti and Tom and Jerry.
Yes, Tom and Jerry and Bugs Bunny, they both have a song. No, so let's just say Looney Tunes and whatever the other one.
Hanna-Barbera.
Yes, they both have a thingamajiggy with a mouse and a piano, and some classical song is playing at the same time, basically. Mm-hmm. And the one was written first, but the other one came out first. And there's no evidence that any of them saw each other. Do you know what I mean?
Similar to, I don't know if you're familiar with the whole Dennis the Menace situation. There's Dennis the Menace that came out that was done by Ash. I think it's Ash Ketchum, by the way. But like the real Ash, just give me a second. Let me get his name properly before people catch me in the comments. Let me say Ash.
Prime, yeah.
Dennis the Menace. So he came with Dennis the Menace. He created Dennis the Menace.
Yeah.
Just give me a second. Hank Ketchum.
Okay.
Hank Ketchum came up with Dennis the Menace in America, right?
Yeah.
But then there's another guy in Britain, I think in London or something,
yeah,
who came up with Dennis the Menace, but the British version.
Oh.
And this came out around the same week. So obviously someone in America and someone in Britain, they wouldn't have knowledge from above soap.
Exactly. And then just somehow.
But the other one changed to Dennis and Nasha, just to,
Yeah, to separate them. Okay.
Yeah. It's like that no strings attached versus friends with benefits situation.
Who knows? Yes, that's a good one. Yes, I remember that one.
Yeah.
Who knows how these things work, bro?
Hey. Anyway.
Yeah, next act.
We're still on Eddie Murphy.
And this is a stacked cast, by the way. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but this is a stacked cast. Like,
No, you're absolutely right. I think for that time, I mean, let's talk about who's this guy? Judge Reinhold Jr. The first time I saw this man was in Vice Versa. Remember Vice Versa? I guess you could say it's the male version of Freaky Friday.
Yes.
Brilliant movie. I loved it, man. I've found this guy hilarious back in the day.
Of course, dude. This man was great, dude. Like, he's in so many things, though. Like, I'm even blown away.
Like, he was in Running Scared.
Yeah.
Which is, I think it's a cult classic, is it not?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Obviously, like we said, he was in Vice Versa. He was in Santa Claus.
Yes, that's probably the one I know him best at. Yes.
Obviously, the Beverly Hills Cop.
All three of them, yeah.
Yeah.
It's some TV stuff, small stuff. Oh, even shows up in Beethoven at one point in the third one. It shows up from then onwards. Okay.
Oh, I didn't even realize that Vice Versa was a flop. I like that movie.
Really?
I
don't know that. He was a voice in the Boondocks as Mr. Ubowitz. What was that again?
Mr. Who?
Ubowitz. What was that again? I'm drawing a blank.
Mr. Ubowitz.
2005. I wonder. I'm never gonna catch it though.
Yeah, no, I have no idea who that is. Okay. But yeah, man, he's the guy. I mean, he was in
He's the teacher! The culturally sensitive teacher. The teacher in the Christmas play.
Oh, I don't remember that episode very well, but
Jesus. When Huey is given the entire play.
I remember that. I just don't remember the.
The teacher. All right.
Teacher.
Like, Harambe, and then. All right. Well, anyway, not the point. But yeah, Santa Claus, of course. Oh, it was in Springboard.
What was he? Was an elf in there?
In what?
In Santa Claus.
It's a good question. Because he's in all of them. That's a good question.
Yeah, but anyway.
Bill Miller. Oh, he's the husband. Remember the wife and the husband and thing when you get divorced like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guy.
Oh, okay.
Makes sense.
But it seems like he was doing a lot of TV for the most part.
Yeah.
I guess after the movie thing stopped working out for him, then he started doing.
There's a lot of TV here. Like there's a crazy amount of TV here.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah. Besides him, is John Aston.
Yes. I guess you could say he's like the tritagonist.
Who plays Taggart, right?
Pardon?
Yeah, Brian plays Taggart. He's
Yes.
definitely. Well, actually, I'm going to go into detail about this because they've got this whole layout that I want to set up for you first.
Okay. He
Now,
was in Some Kind of Wonderful.
I don't know, but I know him. Like he's one of those faces where, like, of course, I know this guy.
Yeah, he was in a movie called Some Kind of Wonderful.
Okay.
And another one called Midnight Run.
Yes, that's the one we talked about before with the same director.
Oh, clearly he likes this guy then.
Which is nice. I honestly, this is one of my favorite things when you're like, nah, I'm going to keep this actor.
Yeah, I mean, if it works, if it's not broke, why try to fix it, you know?
Exactly. And it's almost entirely TV shows here. Like, this is crazy. This is a lot of TV shows.
Yeah. Oh, he was in She's Having a Baby. Yeah, no. Hey, but he's been busy, eh?
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm like scrolling for ages here. So, yeah. No wonder we know his face because we've seen him in every episode of everything.
Oh, he was in Kojak.
Oh. He was in MASH as well. That took me by surprise.
Apparently there's a MASH film. We need to maybe do that as well. Is it that I don't know, maybe it didn't.
I don't know enough about MASH. I almost feel like.
Yeah, me too, but I guess but I know it's one of those popular shows back in the day. Just like Staxi and Hutch. She was in Staxi and Hutch, the series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then next is Lisa Ilbacher.
I don't know.
No, her resume is not busy at all.
Is it Foley's friend?
No, the Jenny, the love interest. Oh, not the love interest. Sorry, the girl.
Yeah, the friend.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah, friend.
Hey, she was pretty, dog. Yo, couldn't get my eyes off her, bro.
Definitely.
Then there was Ronnie Cox, who played was it like the lieutenant?
Yes. Now he's probably been a lot of stuff. Like he is someone who, like, yes.
Bro, his level of acting, even in that movie, is just top notch. Like, you can tell he knows his way, man, into this acting thing.
Was he RoboCop? No, he wasn't.
No. I think that was Peter Weller.
Yes.
He was in Family Ties. Oh yeah, he was in RoboCop. Dick Jones.
Yeah, but as who?
Dick Jones. I don't know who Dick Jones is.
Damn. But yeah.
I guess we could say those are the. Wait, whoa. We need to make sure that we include the villain. This is the guy that was in.
Hey, he's speeding through now. Yeah.
What is that? Oh, sorry. Is it Paul Reiser? No, not Paul Reiser.
The Tourist, A Clockwork Orange.
Steven Berkoff, right?
Yes. Steven.
He was in Rambo First Blood too.
Ooh.
Wait. Who are we talking about now?
Steven Berkoff.
Oh, okay. Because I was watching the video that we were talking about Terrence Howard, and then we talked about Ben Kingsley, and I forgot to mention that we're going back to Terrence Howard. So there was a bit of confusion there. Okay, so we're talking about Steve Berkoff.
Yeah.
What an amazing actor.
Wow, this man's got so many credits. It's actually, I'm scrolling for ages.
There's a movie, man. Blade Runner. He was in Blade Runner. Remember, he made that whole soliloquy or monologue.
Look, he's the main bad guy in Blade Runner.
Yeah, that has to be him.
I gotta confirm that.
Oh, he was also in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, David Fincher's version.
Why is your one better than mine, apparently? Okay, let me get rid of some.
I think you're on IMDb, right?
Yeah.
You usually use IMDb. I usually use Wiki.
IMDb comes with pictures, so I like it more.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah.
But damn. Ugh, this is exhausting. What do you... Okay, Beverly Hills Cop, RoboCop Part 2.
Wait, am I wrong to think that he was in...
A part of me thinks you're misunderstanding. I don't think it's him, dude.
Man, who the hell was that guy?
Dog, I know that guy died recently. But yes, he is a legend as well.
Oh, wait, let me check the cast quickly of... No, you're right. He's not even here.
Yeah. You're thinking of...
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, guys. I thought it was someone else. That's clearly someone else.
Yeah, Rutger Hauer, who died, I think a few years ago. But yeah. Norwegian, Netherlands guy, yeah. 2018, yeah. Tears in the Rain, yep. Great guy, great voice actor as well for video games. Did a couple of video games. I think there was a Blade Runner video game he did voice acting for.
What was his name?
Rutger Hauer.
Rutger Hauer.
He's got Batman Begins in there. He's got Sin City, of course.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's the one who was in Blade Runner. Sorry, I'm probably mistaking him for another movie or something.
I get it. No, they both have this like intense like face to them.
Yes.
But this like similar face.
So who was he in The Clockwork Orange? Was he one of the members of that group?
That is a good question. I was trying to figure that out as well. I'm like, is he one of the police? Because like detective, yeah, he was one of the policemen that basically beat him up, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was like wondering what was going on there. I'm like, why wouldn't I remember that? How is that something you miss? Okay, yeah. He was one of the police. Yeah, but yeah, moving on. Because we still have to talk about. Okay, James Russo is someone, of course. He's someone you've probably seen a few things.
James Russo.
He's in Django.
James Russo.
Russo, yeah. Russo.
Oh.
As Dickie Speck. Remember that name?
He was in Django.
Yeah, apparently, I'm guessing a small role.
Who was he in Django?
Dickie Speck. What the hell is that?
Who the hell is Dickie Speck?
Exactly. I'm using a tiny ass role. Maybe it was one of those guys with Tarantino at the end.
Oh, I see. I think it's the guy that dies in the beginning.
Maybe. I think so.
It was like a sheriff or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like he's done Tarantino stuff more than one though. So I feel like I'm surprised that wasn't the only one. Like I feel like he's like got small characters in Tarantino stuff. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Only one.
Yeah, but stuff, eh?
Yep. But then again, when you start collecting 90s, 80s actors.
Oh, he's the guy who gets murdered in the beginning.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, but he was young there, eh?
Dog, he's so young and so skinny. Eddie Murphy is skinny too. Just looking all lanky and shit. Hot damn. Anyway, I won't say last one, but the last big one is probably Jonathan Banks.
What did he do?
Better Call Saul.
Oh.
The best policeman ever, or / fixer ever. Jonathan Banks is also in Community. He's one of my favorite old actors, dude. Like this man.
Dog, I can't even believe he was in Community. Like this guy, for me, always seems like he's always playing like serious roles.
Yeah.
Wait, Jonathan Banks is in Beverly Hills Cop?
But he plays as the guy that shoots the main bad guy. Like that's so crazy.
Wait, didn't Wait a minute.
You didn't recognize him?
No. Oh, flip, that's him.
Yeah, look how young he is, Todd.
The thing is, I'm used to the older version of this
Yes.
guy. I didn't realize that he is the.
Yep.
I didn't realize he was Cuz. Hey, Cuz.
Top good. Dude, this man. Oh, apparently he's in 48 hours as well. Now that's interesting. So they stay together a little bit. Nice.
So it's been working with Eddie Murphy.
Yep. Ah, dog, this man.
Yo, but he was young, yeah.
Dog. Wait, did 48 hours come first?
Yeah. Wasn't like 48 hours like the first film that Eddie Murphy did?
I should double check that now.
Like the first major film that Eddie Murphy did, I think, was 48 hours. I could be wrong.
He was in Deep Space Nine. You know me, I love myself some Star DS9, so that's cool. One episode only though. Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles.
You see, Murphy broke out as a movie star in the 1980s films 48 Hours, Trading Places. Let me see something. Just give me a second.
Yeah, but there's so many TV series stuff here, dude. Like, it's going on forever.
Yeah, 48 Hours, 1982. That's the first.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah.
Started big.
Wait, when did another 48 Hours? Damn, it came out in 1990. So 82, from 82 to 90. The sequel came out in 1990, from 1982.
Dog. It was Incredibles. As Rick.
Ooh.
Incredibles 2, sorry. Rick Dicker. I don't know what that is.
This guy is versatile, almost.
Dog. He's in Catwoman as Black Mask in one of the movies, in one of the animated movies. So that's
yeah. This guy.
like that's crazy. Nah, dude, this is great. But yeah,
wow. I'm surprised.
But yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to get it? I don't know if there's anything else that you want to say. I mean, we've been.
Yeah, this one took longer than I thought.
Like this.
And there's still so many. We didn't talk about Paul Reiser. We didn't talk about Bronson Pinchot.
Wait, Paul Reiser sounds familiar. Who's Paul Reiser again?
He plays Jeffrey in this, but he's you know him as he was a detective at the beginning. The detective that talks to Eddie in the beginning, that's like yelling at him. But you know him from stuff like
the guy who's preaching to Eddie saying, dude, don't piss off the chief, whatever, this and that.
But he's the dad from Whiplash. And of course he's
wasn't he in
Aliens?
No, before you say that, Paul Reiser, yeah, that's right. Okay, I didn't even notice him here, but he was in what's the sitcom, man? Is it Mad About You?
I think you're right, actually, no, yes.
With Helen Hunt.
I don't even know how you remember that. Like, that's the one that's...
Oh, I followed that guy, though. Like, these guys, but obviously I followed him in his latter years, because I think Mad About You came out, in the 90s?
Are you right?
But I didn't even notice him on Beverly Hills. Like, I didn't even see that it was him. And I like this guy.
Yeah. He's also isn't he the doctor in Stranger Things as well?
Oh, I haven't watched Stranger Things.
You don't have to say to that.
Oh, but he's in Reboot as well, I think. Because Reboot came out, I think, last year? With Keegan-Michael Key?
Reboot.
Yes, Reboot. So basically, Reboot is a sitcom about, it was done by the same guy that did Modern Family, I think. What's that guy's name again? Is it Chris Leviton? No, who's that guy's name again? But basically, it's about like how networks are doing, like they were like, basically, he was like a showrunner of an old show, an old series, and then they were rebooting that series. So they needed like new writers, and obviously they need the original writer to come in and give his opinion and stuff. So it's basically like a commentary about old shows being rebooted in this modern day.
See.
Is he not credited? You don't see his credits
over there, yeah.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I watched the first season because I know even Johnny Knoxville is in it. Even Keegan-Michael Key is in it.
Keegan-Michael Key is what I'm seeing there. I didn't see Johnny Knoxville.
I just don't remember who wrote that series. I think is it Levitan? Someone Levitan. Stephen Levitan? It doesn't say. Okay.
Let me see if I can find out. Yeah, Steve Levitan.
Yeah.
Stephen Levitan.
Stephen Levitan, yeah. It's a good one. You should check it out.
Oh, he did Modern Family. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he did Modern Family.
Okay. I was like, okay, all right.
It's really good. I'm not even sure if it's gonna get picked up for a second season, but it is amazing, bro. It's hilarious.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. And then of course, the Pinochet, the guy who plays Serge, the eccentric Jenny's assistant.
Oh, can I get you some tea with lemonade? With lemon inside? Do not be ridiculous.
Yeah. That man had his own TV show, didn't he? I believe so.
Did he have his own TV? I don't know. I'm not used to seeing that guy. I don't know who that guy is.
Okay, yeah, he did Risky Business, of course.
Risky Business sounds familiar.
Tom Cruise. Thing is, I know you know what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to see if I can find a True Romance, yes. First Wives Club, yes. It's a TV show. Something like not Alf, but like some weird. Okay. Oh shit. Okay, 1 second. He's Italian with a Russian accent.
Wait.
Huh?
What?
Yeah, I know, right? I think he grew up in both places, something like that.
Oh.
Ah, come on. The thing is, I know if you Google him, you'll find something. Like he had a TV show.
This guy. What's his name?
Uncle.
What's his name?
Bronson Pinchot.
How do I spell his name?
Okay, PIN Chot. CHOT.
You know, man, it's crazy how these algorithms work or whatever is happening. Because we're talking about him and I didn't even press much, but it's already recommending. Wait, how young is this guy?
I don't know, dude.
No, but it looks very familiar. Like
I know you know him. I just can't think what the name of the show was. It's one of those shows that would have been like out for a while when we were still growing up as kids on SABC 0 or something.
Wait, how does he look like he's in his 30s?
I cannot tell you.
And he's 64.
I think it's called Perfect Strangers. I think the name of the show is called Perfect Strangers.
Okay. I knew him from somewhere. You remember Migo? It's a show that was cancelled.
Yes, that's the name, I think.
He was Migo, bro. Remember Migo? He was an alien.
Yes, he was an alien. Yes, exactly.
Sitcom, and then he was in Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I have no idea what that is. Oh, Sabrina, the one that came out, the dark one, not the comedy.
Yeah.
Came out. Okay.
I avoided that one like the plague.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I mean, I know that one is probably more comic book accurate than the one that we used to watch in the 90s with Melissa Joan Hart.
Yeah. But that's what you grew up with. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. I mean, we are loyal to Melissa Joan Hart, yo. Represent. Yeah. Salem. Talking Cat and Hilda and Zelda. Those specific ones.
Exactly. But sometimes with those comic book accurate ones, you'll find out that the comic book came after or something like that. Or like, you know, Archie, where the comic is like happy, but then they made a dark version and they were like, that's the one we're going to make.
Yeah, because I probably don't think even that Sabrina was as dark as.
I refuse to believe that OG Sabrina was dark, and then the people were like, "Why did you make the opposite?" You know,
a comedy.
Yeah, let's make a light version. Normally it's the other way around. Let's make a dark version.
Yeah.
So
I could be wrong. Disney did that a lot because some of those old stories, like the Grimm brothers stories, were dark, bro. Like I think in Snow White.
Fair enough. That's a good point. That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Though you got to admit, some of those Grimm Brothers ones where it's like, okay, when is the ending to the story? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
it's weirdly written. Like,
Yes.
what's it? 1700 storytelling is weird.
Hey, bro.
That's the cost, I think.
Oh, cool. I know, that's cool. I don't think there's anyone that we left behind. I mean, if we're talking about this guy, if we're talking about Migo,
Yeah.
and I think we mentioned it. I just don't know who played the boss, like his boss in Florida, that man.
I looked it up before we started doing this, and he's only done Beverly Hills Cop and he's died. You can check up his credits. He's only done Beverly Hills Cop 1.
Wait, was he not doing anything behind the scenes, what?
According to the thing, it just showed Beverly Hills Cop. Just look it up again, but yes.
That's weird.
Hills Cop.
Okay.
Very surprising. But let me just see. Let's give it one last look. Gilbert R. Hill is his name. And yeah, Beverly Hills Cop. That's it. He's gone 3 actor roles and he's played the same person 3 times.
Wait, he's only been in Beverly Hills Cop movies?
Yes.
That's so weird, bro.
That is so weird, dude.
Like, dude, do you have a day job or what's like?
I would assume so. And he really loves that day job.
Yeah, clearly, because they're like, no, we need you in Beverly Hills. It's like, okay, cool, I'm coming back again. All right.
Yeah.
And then after Beverly Hills, it's like, okay, guys, I took leave, so I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, I guess let's get into it.
Cool. Okay, starting the movie. The opening images of Beverly Hills. The clearly less shown side, dilapidated, dead factories and the like. Funny enough, it looks more like Detroit. We open on a truck full of merch and 2 goons spring to each.
How does Detroit look like, bro? I wouldn't know.
Huh?
What do you mean it looks like Detroit? How does Detroit look like?
Well, Detroit is famous for how basically, you've seen 8 Mile, right?
Oh, yeah.
Basically, I don't know much you know about what, but basically Detroit used to be a haven for black people, actually. Because what happened was the factories used to be there. So car factories used to be there.
Yes.
And then, so like that was when like the black middle class was at its finest. Do you know what I mean?
It's like your Mpumalanga mining area type of. Exactly.
But then it started to become expensive. Now, there's different reasons for that. Some people blame the unions for asking too much money, etc., etc. Some people say, actually, the most interesting answer, it probably blew my mind, was air conditioning. That's actually an interesting thing.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because remember, there was no such thing as air conditioning back in the past, right?
Yes.
So what happened is you build a factory where the temperature is nice, right? So you would pay whatever amount you'd want to pay. If the factory workers want to get paid this much, then it's fine. There's nothing you can do because you can't afford to overheat people, right? But then air conditioning was built, and suddenly it was cheaper to buy air conditioners than it is to hire the workers. So they moved them to places like Texas, where you pay less tax and stuff like that. And then, so then that job is gone forever. Or then, of course, motor factories then moved to Mexico. Then they moved to Mexico, and then, pay for air conditioning, pay less for fees in total, and then all those areas just.
Wait, so people used to get paid more because they didn't have air conditioning?
Well, think about it. You got to pay 20,000 people to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you can't have half of them passing out because of the heat, right?
Yes.
So what you do is you build it where it's comfortable. So you go to a comfortable place. So you build your factory in a comfortable place.
Right.
Yeah. And then, that's kind of the idea. And then the idea was because now this is just a theory, of course. We can't go back in time and find out for sure. But the theory is, And then once that problem was solved, they didn't have to listen to the people who worked there anymore. And then you have to listen to them, right? Because you're in the best position, so you have to give them the best money, right?
Right.
So the reason to listen disappears, and they don't listen, so they leave. That's basically one of the theories. Another theory, actually, no, this is it's stuff like that is always interesting to me. Like, for example, there's another place where there's a lot of rivers. I think it's Michigan. I forgot where it is. Where there's lots of rivers, right? Now remember, there's no airplanes at that time period, or there's not. Let me just say, airplanes are too expensive for you to carry big things.
Right.
So what you do is you build your factories next to a place with lots of rivers, right? And lakes. And then you just take a boat and you carry it over. Cheaper than cars.
Right.
And airplanes were built. Well, airplanes became cheap, let's put it like that.
Right.
And then why am I still working here? Time to move my factory somewhere else. Then I can just fly it over. Done. And then whatever area where that factory was becomes destroyed.
Obviously, the economy would plummet.
Exactly. And now Detroit is one of those areas where it just never recovered. Some of those other places will either disappear or they'll recover. They'll build something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the businesses would change completely.
Exactly.
Into something else. Like they'll buy that warehouse but change it into something else.
Exactly.
Interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah. Funny thing is, anyway, carrying on this, you're gonna find this funny. Anyway, we opened on a truck full of merch, and two goons are whispering to each other. We find a very young Eddie Murphy in a nice white beater. As it turns out, this is fucking funny because I wrote this as I was watching, right? As it turns out, the drug deal the illegal cigarette deal that's happening right now is actually happening in Detroit. I guessed right.
Really?
Yeah, it's happening in Detroit. Because it turns out Eddie Murphy's a policeman from Detroit.
Yes.
And then he goes to Beverly Hills. I didn't know that when I saw the scene. You see how bad the area looks. I bet this is Detroit.
Wait, that's Florida, right?
No, Detroit is.
Wait, where is Beverly Hills?
Beverly Hills is in California.
Yes.
Los Angeles.
Where did I get Florida from? Is it because we're having a conversation earlier about Florida?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Miami, yeah. But anyway, yeah. Turns out I was joking when I said, but still, turned out to be true. Anyway, Eddie's selling a truck full of illegal cigarettes. The goons are trying to stiff him on the deal. In a fantastic show that actually made me pay attention to who the director is. They're talking, right? And in the background, we see a police car stop, pull back.
Hey, dude.
Dog.
I saw that. But the directing was good for that time, for the 80s. That was amazing because
that was great.
The shot is funny enough. When I saw it, I was like, this is so Citizen Kane-ish.
Yes, with the long focus, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude. Anyway, yeah. While they are fighting, we see the cop car slowly and silently come up.
Dude, are you telling me they didn't hear anything?
The sound, and then suddenly hear whoop, and now they hear the cops. It's great.
But also the dialogue, man, in the beginning, that was amazing, man. Like, yo, man, you don't be playing me. You know, you said this much, you're giving me this much. I'm not an idiot. I was not born again yesterday, whatever. I was not born yesterday, whatever. And this guy's like, look, I'll tell you what, I'll just give you this much, and then next time I'll make it up to you. It's like, nah, man.
No. Yeah. And then they talk to the cops, and the cops are like, I recognize. And that really screws things over.
Yeah.
And yeah, leads to a massive cop chase. To shockingly upbeat music. And it gives you this 80s feel.
This was the 80s, dog.
They didn't understand, like.
Oh, because that scene and the music don't go hand in hand.
For today's time, it doesn't at all. Like,
no, it doesn't. No.
I'm actually thinking of the Dark Knight. Do you know that the chase with the Joker and Dark Knight?
Yes.
That music. There's none of that in the 80s, dude. That doesn't exist.
Some upbeat.
It's like, I got chills. They multiply. You know what I mean? It's like just.
And I was thinking to myself, oh man, you have like strong grip. You've been holding onto this chain.
That was
like Alex Foley. Like you've been holding onto this chain this whole trip.
And you just know they did the whole. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Ronin. Where you just know that they probably just had like a stuntman there, but it still looked so good and so smooth that you think to yourself, that's got to be Eddie Murphy. I thought that was really cool.
There's a comment I want to say about stuntman, but we'll get there when we get there.
But anyway, yeah, there's real life damage being done. There's no CGI here. This car moves crazy. These moves are crazy. We even see a bus do a 180 for no reason. Like this bus is just like, and they're like,
Right.
Like that was beautiful. It also reminds me of, remember what we talked about with Jackie Chan's police story? We talked about like how things, when it's real, even if it's cheap, it still looks so much better. It's not clean. It's grungy.
Yes.
We talked about what's her face, Myers, with her style where it's all smooth. This is the opposite of smooth. Nancy Myers, I think that was her name.
Oh, Nancy Myers is like, Nancy Myers kind of gives you this ambience of like indoor chilling with your family.
Like smoothness, you know what I mean? Like,
yes. Everything is near perfect.
Yeah, these cars, the fruit falling, it looks like they had one chance at this, if you know what I mean.
It looks like it was done in one take, dog.
Yeah,
a number of
shot, guys. We're not doing it again.
There's actually a scene where he bumps into a car and it stops for like a split second. Then it continues. I'm like, this was one take, dog. Because you can tell that moment was the moment where the truck should have stopped, but it continues because the script allows it to, like, it demands it to continue.
Yes. And there's no CGI as well. And sometimes I started to feel like CGI has ruined us, because this felt so real.
Yes. Look, it has made things a lot easier.
Oh, definitely.
And it probably saved a lot of costs on a lot of things. I mean, damaging all those cars, man, for a movie that might flop is...
True. But think about what you just said, right? It saved a lot of costs. If they made this movie again, it would cost them 200 with CGI. It would cost them 100 million to make it.
No, you're right. I mean, because I'm thinking about like Fast and Furious 8. Is it 8? Where I think it was directed by F. Gary Gray, if I'm not mistaken. There's a scene where the cars are falling down.
Oh yes.
I think that was CGI. Was it? No. Those were real cars, no?
Yeah, no, man, I'm sure that was CGI. That shit looked fake.
Yeah, that's why I'm mentioning it. It looked horrible.
It looked horrible.
I don't know, man. I have this feeling that black directors get sabotaged when it comes to CGI. Like, think of Ryan Johnson and Black Panther. That fight at the end.
The PS2 fight, yes.
Oh my god, that looked horrible, bro.
I thought I was watching God of War 1. My god, let's... and what's his face? Thing is, you get... Like, it's your job to say yes and no at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Like, as a director. Because look at David Fincher. That man...
David doesn't play dog. I remember watching special features for Curious Case of Benjamin Button. And one of his comments was, "What the F is this?" Listen to the editor. I'm like,
Imagine you do 50 takes and this nigga's like, what is all of this?
Yeah. Yeah. Dog, I'm thinking about like special effects that he was doing. Look, I know the special effects and then there's practical effects and then there's VFX, right? I think there's a difference between the three, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, the chase ends with the cops putting guns at him, and then they roll their eyes when they see that, oh no, it's him.
It's Foley.
Yeah. They know him, yeah. We enter a police station with Eddie bursting in, and he's pissed as cops are laughing at what happened. Jeffrey steps in to try and reprimand him and try to give him advice, but Axel is too pissed off to hear him right now.
La 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 la.
Yes. Yes. The camera movement here is kind of fantastic, and it's doing this thing. It's doing the Sorkin thing. For those who don't know what the Sorkin thing is, it's Sorkin, who is famous for being a dialogue-heavy writer, will add physical movement to his shots, so it feels like there's action in his exposition. Yeah. So visually, right? Yeah, it's like walk with me, and then like the camera will follow him. Yeah, like going somewhere. So that's what it feels like here. But what's nice about it is it does a double exposition because it sets up the vibe, basically. So you get the vibe of what a policeman's life is as you go through the entire precinct. You go to a locker room and you're like, oh, okay, this is the life of a policeman in 30 seconds. I love it.
And funny enough, what was he doing in the locker room? If you really think about it, like if you really think about the storyline, what was Foley doing in the locker room?
Yeah, what is he fetching? What is he fetching? Something? Is his shift over? Was he going for a shower? Was it because he didn't know like he was getting naked to me? So did he need a shower quickly?
He was not even getting undressed. Like, what were you doing, Foley?
I went to the locker room to go to the locker room. I don't even think he's
Hey,
there.
it's the 80s, so I don't know. Maybe things were different back then. I don't know.
I don't know, but what I like about this movie is I think it skips stuff like that, where it's like that's not the point. Do you know what I mean?
That's not important. What they are doing right now, it's
The
not.
point is he's trying to explain.
Yeah, we just needed to give you guys a reason for these two people to walk around.
And this director does this all the time. And I have a feeling there's a reason for it, but I'm gonna tell you at the end because this movie is not what you think it is. This is an interpretation of come to my mind, and I'm excited for that. Anyway, they go to the locker room and there's a bunch of police style locker room jokes where they all roast each other. Like one of the cops is like makes a joke or some shit like that. Do you want a cigarette or something like that? And he's like, and Eddie's like, yeah, you know what I mean. And the dialogue is all about Axel avoiding the chief, only for the chief to come right into the locker room, dog, and blast him in front of him.
There's something that I just want to say. Like I've mentioned, before we recorded, I was mentioning to you that I feel like this movie created a lot of tropes. I didn't put it in those words, but basically what I'm trying to say is I think this movie created a lot of tropes that were followed in other movies later on, and I'll mention them as they come. But the first one that I want to mention here is Ace Ventura. Remember in Ace Ventura, the cops used to mock him all the time, and he was not even affected by that. This is the same thing, like with Foley, where they're making fun of him, and he's like, "Yeah, that's a good one. Did you write that yourself?"
But definitely, I feel like it's a thing of. So many movies do it. Another example besides Ace Ventura, of course, is shit. But no, multiple movies. I'm drawing a blank now. But there are a lot of movies where they roast each other like that. Like I know in books they do it as well, where cops are kind of like, if you do something that sticks out, they're gonna hit you with it. You know what I mean?
Is that what books?
Yeah, I've read it in books as well.
Oh.
Like that way, like
say these earlier. I mean later on, but I know that Bad Boys 2 they do that. Yeah,
Bad Boys.
They do
that.
Bad
Boys.
And also White Chicks they do that, where the two other cops make fun of the main cops.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's those two other cops, Bad Boys. Okay, yeah, that's a more specific, but yes, where like there's the competing. What would you call it? The competing
duo.
Yeah, where the other guys is kind of the opposite, where it's like the duo doesn't even compete. But then when Samuel Jackson and The Rock die, then it's Mark Wahlberg.
The other guys.
Yes, and then they also have a competing duo actually.
Yeah.
I think we discussed it last week, didn't we? Actually.
We did. Yeah.
So yeah, that's actually a good trope that you pointed out, the competing duo. I like that.
And for some weird reason, it's like, it seems like it's more prevalent in buddy cop movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That or like maybe like a high school drama. Or not a high school drama, but like a high school comedy with like mean girls, and there'll be like maybe a competing mean girl.
Ah, right.
Yeah, that's a fun comparison. Mean girls versus cops. I like that. High school mean girls.
Hey man. Same energy.
What's that thing? Where it's like what? 2 different plates, same meal or whatever. But yes, same energy, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he gets blasted. Dialogue, as you said before, dialogue is fantastic. In between here are a bunch of fun quips. Not full Marvel, but definitely some fun one-shots being made. Where like Jeffrey like says something, it's like, you shut the hell up. Like, oh, this is my locker.
Yeah.
No, this is my locker. I love that kind of thing. It's like up and down kind of energy to it. I love it. But then it ends with us finding out that Axel is on his last warning. Like he screwed up for the last time right now, because this was an unauthorized undercover mission that he did on his own. He took evidence for another case that he just took, so it's a disaster, and he's on his last warning.
I think, just to explain to some people who might not know this, I think police officers have a quota, right, that they have to meet every month. And I'm assuming that sometimes I guess you become desperate if you don't meet that quota, so you try by all means to arrest as many people as you can for that month. Right.
Yes.
So I don't know if Alex has already met his quota for the month, so he got bored, or if he was more of a vigilante slash cop. Like,
I would say he's more ambitious.
he's more ambitious because he doesn't want to do things by the book. For me, it's not about quotas. For me, it's about the law. It's about doing the right. It's about justice.
Yeah.
Right.
He's obsessed with getting things done. And as you later find out, he was a criminal himself.
Yes.
So he understands getting things done.
Yes. Because let's not lie, he's very street smart.
Oh, yes. And I'm going to get into... Oh,
Okay,
yes.
we'll get there. We'll get there.
Most street smart person. Anyway, 11 minutes in, it's nighttime, and Axel is headed home in a disaster of a car.
Dude, what the hell was up with that car, bro? And how did you even stop it? Because obviously you and I can drive, but like, dog, no handbrake, nothing. Like, no.
Yeah, that's a good point. He was just like, didn't even put a brick underneath. He was just like, he was like,
and like, that street was not even. Was it even going down that street? I think it was level, dog. But that car was just rolling back.
yeah. It's just them like showing how messed up this man's life is, basically, I think.
Dude, he didn't even lock it. Like,
yeah. Garbage. Probably takes too long to open it in the first place. That's a lock.
Yeah.
By the way, we finally get the classic theme. Finally get it here. We finally play.
Shout out to whoever made that melody. Like, that's one of the most memorable melodies. It's kind of similar to Aretha Franklin's "I Got the Power."
Oh yes. I was gonna say in terms of movies where the theme outplays the movie. This is Mortal Kombat. Yes.
Even if you have no idea what Beverly Hills Cop is about,
you
know that song.
Exactly.
And like what we said about the music, he can sense that there's someone in his house, but they're playing this music, and it's a tense scene. He's taking out his gun, but they're playing. You're like, wait, am I supposed to be scared here? Because I don't know. But when I was watching it, I was like, okay, maybe this is deliberate. They're trying to say whoever he's pointing, he's about to point his gun to is not a threat. That's why we're gonna play this.
Yes, exactly. No, definitely. I hear you. Could be like that. But anyway, Axel goes into his apartment to find it broken into, and he finds his old friend. His friend being Mikey. Mikey, for some reason, is packing untraceable bearer bonds worth tens of thousands of dollars.
Right.
They give each other backstory. Mike's been a security guard, a post-prison job given to him after his prison stint, which is surprising. Why would a criminal be given a security job? Turns out they both used to be thieves. Turns out that Mikey took the fall for him, and they are the deepest of friends. This movie is set in the 80s, so you should immediately know what's about to happen. Where it's like, hey, parents, like a Disney movie.
Yeah.
Parents, I want you to know that I love you, parents. I want you to know you're the best parents ever.
Then you know.
I'm going to turn away now. You're dead.
Yeah.
What happened? Yeah. That's basically, and that's what happens here. Immediately, the second they get home, two suited goons appear and knock Axel out, and confront Monkey about the money. They take back the money and they shoot him in the head twice, just like that.
Hey, dog.
17 minutes in, and they show it. I mean, they don't show the gore, but they actually show him getting shot.
Yeah.
This is 80s. Nowadays, you fade to black. You hear the gunshots, fade to black. Oh no, he's dead.
Hey, bro, if I was living in that complex, I would leave the next day, dog.
Nigga, it's Detroit. You hear that sound all the time. You've seen The Wire.
Ring a bell? Does it ring any bell to anybody?
Anyway, 17 minutes in, the area surrounded by cops. Axel is sent away from the case. He's just told no. Axel, knowing he's not allowed near the case, says, and he knows on his last warning, which has been set up already. Well done for setting that up, because I didn't see that coming. Then he asked for a vacation. Don't ask me why, but this gave me such a positive energy. It doesn't feel like movies like this are made anymore. Also, shooting in the film has this awesome element of awesomeness to it. I can't explain it to you.
Right.
It's just so good. Like this, in 20 minutes, everything is set up and we're on the move. That's the end of the first act. I just really enjoyed myself. I don't know how to explain it to you. What do you think?
No, same here, man. I loved the chemistry between Eddie Murphy and
Sergeant.
it's yes, the sergeant, but not just with the sergeant, but with this childhood friend.
Mikey, yeah.
Because you could clearly see the what do you call this? You could clearly see the connection that they have. You could see that these people were friends for a while, and he doesn't judge him. He's like, "Did you steal this?" It's like, "Yes, I stole it." It's like, "No, you can tell me, man. I'm not gonna judge you." And then, but when he says, "Let's go steal a car," it's like, "Dude, come on, you know I'm a cop. I can't do that." You know?
And he almost hesitates. He's like, you're not being serious, right? Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like he might actually do it.
Them playing pool and just having that discussion, for me, it felt so natural. It genuinely felt like these people have been friends for years. I bought every scene there.
Yeah, absolutely. Eddie did a great job with this movie.
Yeah, definitely.
90 minutes in, we're straight to Act 2. We're in California, Beverly Hills. And the contrast is vast.
Sorry, another movie that I thought about with regarding to like taking bits and pieces from this movie is Rush Hour, the first one.
Oh, yes.
I'll explain for two reasons, but the first reason I'd say Jackie Chan going to another place to try and solve a problem. A place where he doesn't have jurisdiction. That's the first Rush Hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Oh, no, definitely. I can see what you're saying there. Anyway, yeah, there's a big difference. New location, as you said. We fish out of water almost. Axel goes to one of the best hotels in the area.
Yeah.
And then they can't give him a place. He makes a scene, conning his way in.
Yeah, but before we get there, I just want to say, what are the shows that you can think of that are directly or strictly made for Beverly Hills? There used to be Beverly Hills 90210, right?
Yeah.
I think there was a reality show. Okay, obviously there's probably Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm pretty sure that is. But there used to be a show about a doctor in Beverly Hills, like performing surgeries and stuff. Yeah. Then there was a cartoon, dog. I think it was called Beverly Hills or something, about like teenagers.
Yeah. And the funny thing about it is, what the fuck is Beverly Hills that's so important that it stands out like this?
No. I think the Playboy Mansion is in Beverly Hills.
I wouldn't know, dude. All I know is there was this one I think it's a Zac Efron movie where he's like a DJ that's like set in Beverly Hills, and it's an uglier side of Beverly Hills, let's put it like that. But like
Beverly Hills, they don't show you on TV.
Exactly. And hell, I think even Cobra Kai is low key in Beverly Hills. I think.
Oh, dog.
Oh yeah, I think Beverly Hills is like the Pretoria East of like of South Africa. Do you know what I mean?
I think the Bold and the Beautiful is also Beverly Hills centric.
Yes. And it's like, okay, but what is Beverly Hills? Why is it so important to America?
Okay, I don't know. I could be wrong, but the impression I always got was Beverly Hills is not far from Los Angeles. Like, it's not far from like Hollywood.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but that's the impression that I got. I think Americans are watching this and like, did you hear what this guy just said?
Yeah, probably. Actually, no, you're right.
Because maybe it's like the same place. I don't know. But I think Beverly Hills is probably not far from Los Angeles. Or is it in Los Angeles? I don't know.
No, I think it is in LA. Yeah, it is.
It is in LA, right?
It's in LA.
So it's in LA, California. Because California is the city.
I think it's a shopping center that makes it so big.
Oh, Beverly Hills is a city in California.
Yes.
And California is in Los Angeles.
Yes. Like I said, Pretoria North. It's not like Pretoria North. So Los Angeles is Pretoria. You know what I mean?
Right.
And Gauteng is obviously California.
Right.
California, Gauteng, Pretoria, LA, and then Pretoria East, Beverly Hills.
So Los Angeles County. That's what? That's Pretoria.
No, yeah, you could say that.
So Los Angeles is a county.
No, I guess you could.
Beverly Hills is a city located in Los Angeles County, California. Huh?
Yes. Thing is, I would
Wait.
the way I said it. But yeah. And then Rodeo Drive is more like Santon, or more like Santon shopping area, Santon City, or more like Mainland.
Guys, if you're from America, please give us context on this. It's quite interesting. I mean, you and I have been so American, like we've been saying a lot of American stuff today, as if we've been there like for like a year.
More research, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Pretty Woman is also technically set. I think that Rodeo Drive is basically where they did the Pretty Woman. You know, you've seen Pretty Woman.
Is it?
I think I'm right.
Burbank, because Burbank is also in California, right?
Possibly.
Because that's where all Disney Studios is, I think.
But yeah, it's so funny that it's known for its luxury, but there are also lesser areas as well. But then again, nowadays, I'm sure they poop everywhere there right now. But anyway, moving on.
Oh, comprising 88 incorporated cities. So LA has 88 cities?
Makes sense. It is one of the most populated areas in the country.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Where were we?
We're just talking about him going to the hotel and then pretending to. It came up with some story about him.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, and they were friends, obviously. So probably Michael Jackson laughed. It's like he's a reporter for Michael Jackson's for what? For
Rolling Stone.
Rolling Stone, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for the Rolling Stone magazine. And like this guy is so quick on his feet, bro.
Oh yeah. And everyone falls for it, which is always hilarious.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, there's a great moment where Eddie Murphy's walking, right? He's like laughing at all the weird Beverly Hills stuff because it's like a weird world to him.
Yeah, like he's watching some lady walk her dog, and obviously like the dog has this kind of like the same hair that she does, type of thing.
And then there's a part where Eddie Murphy laughs at these guys in these big leather jackets. And I kept thinking to myself, do you know what this reminds me of? The leather jacket that guy's wearing is basically the one he wore in Delirious. And this nigga's laughing.
Yes. And that was after the Michael Jackson joke.
Yes.
And remember, that's obviously like that's after Thriller.
Yeah. So I just thought that shit is. I just thought that was like, I don't know what reference they were going for there, but I just thought that was funny.
Definitely. Hey, this is the thing that made me fall in love with Eddie Murphy's laugh, man.
And then like Jenny makes fun of it later on, I think.
Yes. I don't think you see that scene, that specific scene. There are certain moments in that specific scene that I think were not scripted.
Oh no, of course.
It does feel improvised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've gotten our inciting incident, and we switched up the dynamic, and we are now in our second act. Though I would say we broke into Act 2 a little early in terms of like the flow of storyline, and this makes the story feel a little bit fast-paced. There's great momentum going on right now.
Where do you think X2 starts, in your opinion, if it doesn't start there?
It probably starts about 24, 25 minutes in, where I'm about to start now.
Okay.
Like the investigation continues. When he enters the art store, that should have been when like things probably kicked off to the second act.
Right.
There's like a 5-minute gap between then and then. So it's not a huge gap. Anyway, we enter the investigation continues. We enter the art store and we meet Serge, played by Bronson Pinchot, who's awesome and hilarious with all the things he does. He's there for a moment, but I love how you get these character actors that just do their job. They're there for 20 seconds and they just blow it away. Like, okay, this is who this guy is.
See, here's another trope. Rush Hour 2, Jeremy Piven.
Yes.
Crack skin, buttercream, crack skin.
You can't do that today, eh? That's a hate crime.
It's exactly like that moment, because he's meeting someone who has so much class, who has so much understanding of what they're doing, and he has no idea what he's talking about. Like, are you serious? You just saw this thing? It's like, yeah, I just saw it. Get out of here. What? Yeah. And the guy's like, yes, I did.
And he's but unlike the other one, where like that one actually feels like they're making fun of him more. Whereas this one, it just feels like, okay, Eddie Murphy acknowledges that this guy is weird, but he's just going with it. Do you know what I mean? He never like really mocks him. Do you know what I mean? He's less mean about it, you could almost say. Anyway, Axel lets her know. Anyway, Jenny Summers appears, played by Lisa Eibacher.
Oh, what a beautiful woman, though.
Yes. Who do you think is better, Cynthia Ross or her?
Who's Cynthia Ross?
The badass action chick in all those old school 80s movies.
Oh, is it not Cynthia Rothrock?
Rothrock, sorry, my bad.
Lady.
I love her so much.
I'd have to like check her out. Like,
nah, fair enough.
Yeah. But what has this lady done though? What else has she done?
Oh, we went over it. A lot of TV stuff. All of it. Just nothing but TV stuff. Anyway, Axel lets her know about it, and we about the death of Mikey, and tries to find out more information, and he gets the name Victor Maitland. 28 minutes in, Axel goes straight to Maitland's business, pretending to be a delivery man. We immediately get to see the man who killed Mikey right off the bat. This is I think I'm wrong here, but this is actually an interesting thing, because this is a technique in writing where we put ahead of the lead actor, right? And we get to watch him put one and one together. This is also a risky move because it runs the risk of boring the audience.
Yeah, because if we already got to the reveal early, then you need to really come up with something more interesting than that. Like, if you remember, is it Fast and Furious 7? Where that whole film was about us looking forward to what Jason Statham and Vin Diesel are going to do to each other now that we think Jason Statham killed Han. Then the whole time Jason Statham is just roaming in that whole movie until the end. So it's like, but it still worked, I guess. Definitely.
Also, another example would be like Blowout, where we see Lithgow. It's Lithgow, right?
Yeah.
Where he's just there right off the bat, and he's still doing things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We know, but no one else knows.
Yeah, the main characters don't know. But the difference is, Foley didn't know. Yeah, he didn't know.
He had no idea. To the point where he was caught out by this guy on multiple occasions. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, it's a risky move. Runs the risk of boring audience and making the audience think that the main character is dumb if it runs for too long.
But if you have something like Death Note, where yes, the reveal was early, but the cat and mouse thing, so interesting that
definitely. And if we can see him putting one to one together, we get a double feel of participation almost.
Yes.
So that is a risk, but it can be the reward can be fantastic.
Right.
Anyway, in this case, it's clear Axel gets through the BS. Because he kind of gives this guy a look and he just knows, well, not that guy, but he knows that Victor is a problem here. He suspects Victor immediately. But then security shows up and picks him up and drags him away, followed by one of the funniest things of all time, which is him being thrown out the window, dog. Like the door was right over there.
When I was young, when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Bro, my stomach was in pain. I had tears falling down my eyes, dog. Because for me, that was the most random moment ever.
So random!
And also the fact that the cops came and he complained and they arrested him for it. Dog, I cracked. I was like...
Dog, and they show up immediately. They don't hesitate, dog. They don't hesitate.
But this I would say for me is when... I think that's when I started noticing that, okay, the guy that was thrown out of the window is the stunt guy. Because the hair looks completely different.
Yeah.
From, like, the guy's hair is relaxed, dog. Like, it's relaxed. I'm like, yeah, man.
It's that like
straightened. Yeah. For those who might not understand what we mean by relaxed. It's straightened, right? Yeah, because like I said, we don't know who's watching. Probably someone is watching from like, I don't know.
Indonesia for all we know. Who knows? Yeah. Point is, yes. Jackie Chan is also famous for that. Who Am I? Have you watched Who Am I, of course?
Yes.
The final kick when he kicks that white guy, dog, and it's just an Asian man with black hair, and then turns into a white guy all over again with brown hair, and you're like, wow, guys, wow.
Dude, this is not even. This was a bit subtle. It's fine.
Okay,
But I saw it yesterday for the first time, and I was like, "What the hell?" Dog, there's another one. I'll even share my screen when we get there.
Anyway, the shops cop immediately. They arrest him. They don't hesitate. The scene ends with him being taken. 31 minutes in, after being pulled out of jail, this man got sent to jail. He's put in the office of Sergeant Taggart and Detective Rosewood.
This was like what, 20-something minutes in already.
31 minutes in, yeah.
Yes, and I was like, wow, it's amazing that we're only meeting the other protagonists now.
Yeah, and it's a 1 hour. It's a 1 hour 45-minute movie. So yeah, half an hour. The confrontation between the cops leads to a fight that quickly gets shut down by Lieutenant Bogomo. As it turns out, the cops had called back to Detroit, and he's screwed if it shows that he was even sniffing around the investigation.
Oh yeah, this is when after Taggart punched him, right?
Yes.
Like, I don't think we talk a lot about how many punches Foley gets in this movie. Like, he gets more L's than wins, bruh.
Yeah, that is true.
Like hand-to-hand combat. Yeah.
When it comes to physical stuff, yeah, I know he takes a beating. When it comes to verbal, that's when he's like the king.
Yeah, you see, when it comes to verbal and mind games, yeah.
Oh, definitely. Axel has to keep the lie, and he has to keep pretending he's going on vacation, because otherwise you're going to snitch on him.
Right.
Picked up by 36 minutes in, he's picked up by Jenny, who starts to defend Victor. But before things can go further, we find out that he's being followed by Taggart and Rosewood. They go to the hotel room, and Axel makes his intentions clear. He will find out what happened, and he'll be examining Mikey's place of work. Meanwhile, he mocks the cops with food from the hotel. And we get a cameo from Marlon Wayans. This cast in here is stacked.
Yeah, I think that was like his first appearance in film because he's known as the Banana Man there. And he's so young, yeah. Eh?
Dude.
You want those bananas? No, you know what? Just take those bananas. Just give me a second. I just want to share my screen quickly. Because I made sure to take a screenshot of this because I knew we were going to talk about it. And he looks so young here, hey?
Looks ridiculous.
Just give me a second. Can you see it?
Yes. All I'm saying is this man is balding already.
Dude, he was balding already and he was super thin. Like,
he's like me. Yeah, so thinny, dude. Oh my god, look at him. Almost looks out of place.
Dude, but he killed it.
But it shows how early on Eddie Murphy was a legend.
Yeah. Apparently, Eddie is like one of those, I guess you could say it's a protege because, like, it's as if he came ready. It's as if he was born ready for the world.
Exactly. And he was out here handing out chances to everyone. Eh? He was out here. He was not being selfish with the limelight.
Even Chris Rock, dog.
Yeah.
He gave him chances.
It was an opening act. Chris Rock was an opening act for Eddie Murphy. What does that tell you?
Hey, bro.
Dog. Anyway, Axel makes his escape after filling the exhaust with bananas. And makes his escape, so he's gone. Axel then, using Jenny's access, enters Victor's facility. Axel finds coffee grinds in the factory, but before we can find out what that clue means, the factory opens up and two goons enter. The same bearer bonds that was being used before end up inside the crate that they were using. This is, by the way, this is probably one of the most unmysterious detective stories of all time.
Yes.
There is no mystery. They find everything they're looking for.
I think because they intentionally, and I think maybe that's why Eddie Murphy took this role. They intentionally wanted to make us know that this is a black man who's very smart.
Potentially, definitely.
And because I remember when I was watching it, I was like, this would be Ronin if, because it has some Ronin moments where they show and not tell from Foley's point of view. It's only when he's talking to Taggart and Rosewood that you start understanding what he was doing for the most part. But like sometimes you're like, what the hell is going on? Either maybe just laughing because he's making a comedy out of a situation, but
Yeah.
for you to understand his mindset behind certain things is when he explains it to other people. And that's amazing.
Yes. No, you're 100% correct.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
It's like, do you smoke? Do you smoke?
No.
Okay, well, I was being like I was being Foley. It's like, do you smoke? The guy says yes. It's like, okay, give me some matches. Like, yes, like
I was thinking that, yes.
yeah. That was a very
That was a
good
great
scene.
scene. Oh my God, fantastic.
Yeah.
44 minutes in, we're back at the precinct. We get a very dumb cop versus serious cop dynamic.
Yes.
This kind of reminded me of the cops from The Mask. I don't know if you remember The Mask,
I
Doyle,
do.
and yeah, it kind of reminded me of those two cops. Dumb cop, sharp cop, and they have to explain their failure. And like the Detroit cops, they get the same roasted moment where they get roasted. Anyway, a minute later, within a minute, we're back at the chase. Which, by the way, is a cool directing tool. It's a nice, expensive way of skipping stuff we don't need to see. So we don't need to see the chase itself. It's not that important. So they show us the precinct and then skip back to the end of the chase.
Yes.
So it's nice. It's expensive because it's shooting 2 locations. So that's expensive. Double the actors, double the locations. That's expensive. You know what I mean? But it's worth it to speed to like.
Which location are you referring to?
The precinct. Because remember, they get in the car to chase after the bad stuff.
Yes, and the car doesn't go anywhere because of the bananas.
No, not that. I'm talking about after they open the thing to see the coffee grinds and they see the goons.
Yes.
They're about to give chase. It cuts to the police station.
Right.
Then we cut back and the chase is over.
Oh yes.
So we don't get to see the chase between the Foley and the Axel and the goons. We don't get to see that.
Yeah.
And we don't need to see that. What a waste.
Because we already know what's gonna happen.
Exactly. So instead of them doing like a weird jump cut, they show the police station, then you come back, and now we've skipped that. So it's a nice, effective tool as a director.
It is.
Anyway, things are getting dangerous. And Axel sends Jenny away as he enters the warehouse to examine what they're doing. Axel has big balls as he just walks straight up to the box.
Hey, dude.
It fails.
Before we get that, I just want to say that I love the way she was written, this lady in here, because she's not really a damsel in distress. In fact, she's like a Robin to his Batman.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember Batman Beyond, but in Batman Beyond,
yeah,
Terry got a sidekick, and it was a lady, if you remember. A black lady.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. But anyway, that's for another day.
Yeah. But no, I agree with you. I'm actually going to double up with that later on.
Okay.
Anyway, the security guard comes in and stops him. And then the whole lighter thing, as you mentioned before, do you have a match? And then he uses it against him. He's like, yeah, this man let a black guy in here dressed like this. And this guy's like, oh no, how dare you let a black guy in, Anyway, Axel does this brilliant job of playing the custom agents to do an inspection.
Yes.
The scene does the same thing it did before, using the cops as a distraction, because we cut back to the police station.
Right.
Cops. And then it skips all the procedural elements. We cut straight to them already opening files, or they're already them opening the box. And we skip a bunch of stuff as it goes back and forth to the cops. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's kind of like a montage where it kind of shows you 2 different scenes and then get to the other side. So we kind of skip the procedural element of the story. Thanks to it, we get all the exposition without all the in-between talking. Because sometimes what will happen is, like even I do this when I'm writing, is you'll have to explain something happening, right? But in order to get to this little part, you have to write a bunch of this.
Yes.
And then get here. So what this does...
That makes sense.
Yeah. So what it does, it shows something, instead of showing this, it goes from here to something else to here, and then it's good. It's good writing. Anyway, 50 minutes in, Axel jumps into the police car because what he needed to do is done, and he tries to make amends with the cops. He convinces them to go to a strip club because, of course. And you know what? This whole thing gave me a very low-key vibe to it. Not low-key, but low-key. Like the God of
the show.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like Axel's personality, he's like this God of mischief, and he's like the mask. Do you know what I mean? Because remember, in the mask, it's a thing that was made by Loki, basically.
Right.
But yeah, I just thought that was something that was very interesting.
No, it is. It's as if kind of like how Bugs Bunny, when you're watching like Bugs Bunny shorts, it's as if Bugs Bunny knew he was a cartoon. That's why he did a lot of things and he got away with a lot of stuff that other cartoon characters couldn't. It's as if he knew that, no, I'm a cartoon and I'm the star of the show, it's fine. And I have to behave that way.
That's why there was rules for Bugs Bunny. Like, for example, Bugs Bunny could never provoke a fight. You had to fight him.
Yes.
In a way, he was like Pan or Loki or
Pan,
from Shakespeare. Basically, he's also like a fairy god. He's also like a god of mischief, but like from like Shakespeare and mythology.
Okay.
Because remember, there's like multiple gods of mischief. But yeah, basically, he's kind of like that. Bugs Bunny's kind of like that as well. But you have to provoke him. He doesn't show up at your house and mess with you. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I just thought I think that's really cool. But anyway, despite making a joke out of the situation, serious things are happening, and he uses it, and it's used as an excuse to show exposition. And he mentions the coffee grounds again.
Right.
But they don't understand what the coffee grounds mean. And then as this exposition is happening, two thugs appear. Serious Cop and Axel have a moment, Taggart, where things get real, and they have to trust each other. It's like a bonding moment. They start scoping out the cops that are the thugs that are doing the scoping. This starts with a chaotic moment as Axel causes a scene which leads to the pair capturing the robber. This is a very clearly awkward situation. Oh, by the way, yeah, and the scene ends with them captured. They go to the police station, and it's an awkward situation because why are they at a strip club? You cops.
Yes.
And Axel decides to build an excuse for them. He built an excuse like, oh, no. What happened was...
Dude, and it makes perfect sense. Like the way he breaks it down, dog.
Dog. It's brilliant. I love it so much. But Taggart, Mr. Serious Cop, he can't do it. And I
think they're not taught to lie or something. It's as if like they have a moral standing as police officers of Beverly Hills, not to lie and stuff.
Yeah. They gotta play everything as straight as a ruler, dog.
Yeah.
This man only knows missionary. There's nothing else exists. And because he can't handle a lie, he gives all the credit to Axel. And as a consequence of that, the two cops are kicked off the case. 58 minutes in, that's the end of the scene. It's a new day. The waiter is back with coffee this time for the new cops.
Right.
But they, of course, before they can even deny it, Axel bangs on the hood and it says, come, let's go. And they give chase. This all comes together outside Victor Maitland's house. Victor Maitland comes out the house and they're like, and the cops talk to him and they're like, it looks like you're out here for a stakeout, buddy. And before they can even talk about that, Victor Maitland shows up and is like, and starts to take off. Mm-hmm. The cops take off too. Now there's a conveyor belt of cars, but Axel fakes him out. And before today, I never considered Axel being a low-key archetype. For those who don't know what an archetype is, it's kind of like a character trope. In other words, you get the.
I think you broke it down before. You're saying there's the hero, there's the.
There's the nerd, there's the wizard, there's like.
Yes. Kind of like the X. Just think of the X-Men.
Yes, exactly. But now, one of the archetypes we never mentioned before is like a god of mischief archetype. You know what I mean?
Oh yes, that's
true. Trickster, and that would be. I wouldn't even say that Marvel Loki would apply to that. But definitely the Mask would apply to that.
Yes, or Rocket Raccoon in Marvel in Guardians of the Galaxy might.
Yeah, you could say that in a way. In its own way, yeah, you could definitely say that.
Yeah.
Deadpool?
Yes.
I would say Deadpool counts as that.
Deadpool himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hudson Hawk would probably count as that. for the Bruce Willis movie.
Yes.
Who else? Who else is like a zany character that would like? Of course, you mentioned Bugs Bunny, the ultimate example, I think.
Yeah.
I know there's more examples. I'm just not.
No, there's definitely a lot of more examples. This is that we can't really think. I mean, the kid from Home Alone.
Ooh, that's not a bad one. You mentioned Death Note. I think Rocky.
Yes, he was mischievous, definitely.
Yep. But yeah, you get the idea.
Yeah, Problem Child,
Yes.
Dennis the Menace.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. In fact, yeah, I've actually mentioned it. But that's he's a low-key archetype, but that's what he is. The most popular example of this maybe happening would be the TV series Lucifer, or even The Mentalist. Where a trickster type character breaks the conventional order of things.
Right.
Here's how things go, and he breaks it.
Right.
Yeah. He even uses lying to get close to Victor on a private resort. With that way, he plays like, where he's like trying to get to Victor, and the security stops him, and he's like, I need to send a message to Victor, and he's like,
oh yes, and then the guy's like,
Lesson number 6.
what do you want to talk to him about? It's like, okay, it's fine. If I cannot get inside, please leave a message for him.
yeah, he says,
Instantly turns into a gay character, bro.
Yeah. I went to the clinic, I got herpes, I just need to let him know, and the guy's like, I'm not telling him that. I'm not telling him that.
Perhaps it's best if you do it.
Yeah, which is a fucking bar. Anyway, so he gets into the private resort. The god of mischief element is proved further when he wrecks the very man that killed his friend without him even knowing. He doesn't even know it yet. Because again, Bugs Bunny, he doesn't lose. So he wrecks that guy. Alex puts all his cards on the table and threatens Victor. Victor is not intimidated, and Alex is arrested once more. Scene end. He's back at the precinct, and everyone is pissed.
Wait, before you get there.
Yeah.
I just wanted, like I said, I was going to mention
this is...
Oh my goodness. I could not believe my eyes when I saw this.
It was unacceptable.
It was so unacceptable. Guys, the scene where Alex is throwing the guy off the table. Who the hell is this guy? Oh my goodness.
And why couldn't Eddie Murphy do the throwing part?
Dude, like, it is not even that difficult, because before they show this guy, Eddie was already handling him. And I'm like, yo, Eddie, why did you... Like, this guy looks like... I don't know, dog. Like, oh my goodness.
Oh my god, that is shocking.
Oh, dude.
Oh, that is unacceptable. Look
Like, this guy looks nothing like Eddie Murphy, dog.
Oh my god.
I couldn't believe my eyes. Meanwhile, he's threatening, afterwards he's threatening Victor. I'm like, yo, that wasn't you.
Yeah.
Why
Bring that other guy back. That other guy can threaten Victor.
Yeah, let the other guy come.
Oh my god. The stuntman, dog. Oh, stuntman.
That's
Gotta love
like Apollo Creed stuntman, not Eddie Murphy stuntman.
Which is hilarious, because if you think about it, nowadays, you know what a stand-in is, right?
Yes.
Yeah, for those who don't know, it's when a guy, his entire job is, when they're setting up the scene, right, they got to organize the lights. You got to be the same height, the same look, and then he stands there like this, and he does whatever Will Smith or whatever famous actor is going to do. And then they set up the lighting around him to make sure everything is fine, and they bring the real actor in and he does the thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Couldn't you get a guy like him to do it?
Dude, why don't you just get his brother Charlie to do that?
Charlie Murphy, yeah. Where was he?
R.I.P. Charlie, man.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, good times. Good times.
Yeah.
Anyway, 106 minutes in, new scene, we're back at the precinct. Everyone is pissed, but Axel takes it in stride. He lays out all his cards. And surprisingly, I thought something different was going to happen. But the lieutenant actually listens. He listens to him talk. Like, they all, like, come around him. let me talk. I mean, the coffee grounds come up again, and it turns out that the lieutenant, for the first time, the lieutenant knows what he's talking about. And it turns out the coffee grounds are tied to drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of cool. But he's dealing with the most straightforward cops. So the entire vibe is shut down.
The best book cops ever, dog.
Dog. Yep. The entire vibe is shut down, though.
Yeah.
And it turns out they can't play with the rules the way Axel can. Like, this man didn't say he was going to break the rules. He was just work around them. Not going to happen. And then while they're arguing how to get Maitland, the bigger boss shows up. The bigger boss lays out all the disasters that have hit because of Axel. And the lieutenant is called in to be reprimanded.
Yes.
Dog. He comes back, and it turns out Axel is to be kicked out the entire city. You've been fired from the city, dog.
This kind of reminds me of Brooklyn Nine-Nine in terms of hierarchy.
Yeah.
Because obviously this lieutenant, you would say, is the Terry Crews in this situation. You know. So yeah, just a small thing that I thought about.
That's actually a good point. I like that.
Yeah.
He comes back. Yeah, things fall apart here. Now, the midpoint was actually the strip club fight, which was a midpoint high.
Yes.
Now hitting an all-you low. And things are getting worse and worse as Victor goes to Jenny's place of work. And Victor then talks to Jenny, asking about Axel. But Jenny? Jenny protects him by lying about the situation. This is a very threatening moment. Because I don't know if you know much about 80s movies, but normally this is about the time that the partner dies.
Yeah. I actually thought she was going to die here.
Yeah. Because partner dies at this point.
I just wanted to show how beautiful this woman is. Man. Jesus. But anyway, yeah. But she was also very... Like, one thing I've noticed about some of the characters in this movie, they're very smart. Which is something I actually wanted to mention earlier. That Jenny was not written to become a damsel in distress.
Yeah.
Like, yes, like I said, she is a partner. She's like the Robin type, but at the same time, you can tell how smart she is. She's very successful.
Yeah.
You know, and she's the one that bails him out, dog.
Yeah.
You know, and here she's protecting him by saying she doesn't know, like, where he is. Exactly. They were just friends, like, when they were kids. Like, so she doesn't even give him enough information to be completely honest with him.
Yeah, and also she helps out fucking Mikey. Like, that was a big deal. Like this man just came out of prison and he managed to get this guy a job. That's crazy.
Hey, bro.
But yeah, at this point we have effectively broken into Act 3. Basically, most of the decisions have been made at this point. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we are hit with a massive sequence. So, like, you'll notice how I break things down. Normally, I'll, like, stop when it's a new scene. Yeah, it goes on from 1 hour, 13 minutes, all the way to, like, nearly the end of the movie, basically. At this point, yeah, beat after beat flow into each other. Now, pause, no pauses, no breaks, no reflection.
Mm-hmm.
Staring at a tree for a few hours, you know, like Denis Villeneuve will do.
Right.
Or what's it? Past Lives? What's her name?
I think it's Celine Song.
There we go. None of that.
Right.
And it's all been set up before now. And now we're just answering questions. So we see Axel fighting to convince Roseville into helping. They go to the art gallery to talk to Jenny, and Jenny wants in and joins in. Now this is okay, yeah, we're on the move and we're back at the warehouse we saw again. Axel is a star at talking. The dialogue has been great this whole time. But Jenny isn't taking any of that shit. Because remember, Rosewood's been convinced on multiple occasions.
Yes.
Jenny's like, shut up, I'm coming. And he's just like, okay. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jenny is just like not taking that shit, and he joins Axel as they break into the warehouse a second time. They break into a crate to find what they're looking for, which is coffee and cocaine.
Yes.
But things fall apart as they're ambushed. Now things are all in Rosewood's hands as the pair are in trouble.
You know, that was the moment I was asking myself, you know, like if there was a series, it could have ended there. Because they're wondering, how's Rosewood going to save them from this,
Yeah.
from all of this, without being noticed and without being identified as a cop?
Yeah, and this man is actually looking like a puppy that's being left behind. You know what I mean?
He was so frustrated, dog.
Dog.
I think him not knowing anything or something frustrates him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, back at the house, back at the warehouse, Victor facing the pair of them. Steve Burkhoff actually does a great job. There's a moment here, and I swear to God, it's so funny. There's a moment, right, when he yells, "Shut up." I swear to God, I jumped.
Really?
I was like, "Boom!" I was like, "Oh shit! Oh shit!"
Who said shut up in this case?
Victor, where thingamajiggy, where basically he's like, Jenny, I'm so disappointed in you. And then Jenny's like, she's like, I don't, and then Jenny's about to say something, and she's like, "Shut up!" And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit. Like, I'm like, because remember, this, if anyone's gonna get shot, now's the time. You know what I mean?
Alex like had no leg to stand on at that moment. He was gone.
Yeah.
Had he said kill him, it was over. It was curtains.
Exactly. Anyway, the man is intimidating. So he faces down Axel one more time before stepping back, and the goons come in. Zach, played by the amazing Jonathan Banks, looking young as fuck, confesses to killing before beating him down. Yeah. Left alone with the goons, it's up to the typical James Bond. You ever seen Austin Powers, right?
Yeah.
So this is the moment where it's like, I'm going to leave you here, and I'm not going to shoot you right now. Go away. But yeah, so the bad guys leave, and he's left alone with the goons. And Rosewind finally decides to break the rules, and he enters the warehouse. This ends up saving Axel's life, and is a moment of breaking tradition. And he calls it in. All the cops are now involved, which is such a nice moment because it shows that this is not a moment where the cops are out to get him or corrupt or so toxic they can't contain themselves.
Yes, you know just do things by the book, that's all.
Exactly. No, they're good cops trying to do the right thing and are trying to do it. The only problem is they're trying to do it in the right way. But you have to remember, this is a movie that was set in the 80s where crime was huge in America. Remember those movies, Death Wish, Dirty Harry?
Yes.
Yeah, those like cop revenge movies were still big in those days.
I think didn't Dirty Harry come out in the 70s?
Yeah, 70s, yes. Remember, those were big times. It only ended in like the 90s, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, it was still a thing, but it was not as effective because obviously you did have buddy cop movies in the 90s, but
yes,
right, they died out with R&B.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, so and I think the thing which was revenge in the 70s. They decided to push buddy cops in the 80s more. You know, they decided to push that more. So it was still like it was clearly a crime was still an issue in the zeitgeist of America's zeitgeist at that time.
Right.
But yeah, a new type of criminal is forming kind of, and this crime fear is high and was leading to one of the highest crime rises in American history. The 90s, of course, being the peak before, the Crime Act knocked that down. Taggart shows up to them and demands they follow the rules. But Rosewood is committed, and he says he's joining Axel.
Right.
He shows his commitment fully, and Taggart gives up and joins in the infiltration with a shotgun, which I thought was a nice moment. To me, that was almost the climax of the storyline. You know what I mean?
What? Please repeat that last line.
It was like the emotional climax of the storyline. Them being. Unfortunately, they are caught on camera, and we cut back to the precinct where the lieutenant is looking for them. We then cut right back to Axel, Victor seeing Axel. Again, this is the cut to speed up the shot. Because remember, again, we're talking about the whole linear sequences can sometimes seem boring, but now we're doing the thing we did before with the back and forth cuts, and like time will normally push forward.
Oh yes.
So they were like, go fetch Alex, cut to the precinct. Go back, Alex. I'm sorry, go fetch Victor, cut to the precinct. Cut back, Victor's there now. Is that
a jump shot? What do you call that?
Jump cut is when you like, let's say I'm walking and then suddenly I'm here now. There's nothing in between. That's a jump cut.
Okay.
What I'm talking about now is just a basic cut.
Oh.
Nothing special about it.
Wait. I'll tell you now. Just give me a second. I think there is a term for it. I think I saw it the other day. Just give me a second. I'll tell you just now. I think it's guys, just give me a second. I'm sorry. You probably like what the F? Rob is in his zone and you are busy trying to find the definition of a cut. Hopefully I can find it quickly. Tell you just now. I actually saw it this morning. Maybe let me share this quickly. It's a bit blurry, but yeah, you know your stuff, bro. I didn't even know some of these things. I heard you talk about them a lot, but I didn't actually know there were definitions of stuff. Let's give me a second.
I remember we talked about the jail and Al cut. Definitely.
You said it's a what?
Oh, I guess you'd say it's a cutaway. Yeah, it's a cutaway.
Oh, a shot that cuts away from the main action.
Yes.
Either
that or montage between the two of them.
Yeah, because it sounds like there's a bit of montage. Also, there's a bit of...
Yeah, to be fair, yeah, there's music playing throughout the entire thing because yeah, actually I want to mention that later, but yes, I think it's a montage. It's called a montage.
Oh, cool.
Because technically one could argue it is cutting away, but nah, I feel like that would misrepresent it. I think montage would be the right expression.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but you know your stuff, bro. I'm only learning about these things now.
Hey, dog, you're going to be out here with your own camera soon as well. Asking your homeboys to come film.
Pardon?
You're gonna whip out your own camera and you're gonna ask your boys to come film.
No.
That time we're done.
No, I don't think so. But it helps to just have knowledge of these things, you know.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
It's good information. It's fun.
Mm.
Yeah, we're speeding up the shot. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. We cut back to the precinct. We cut again back to the house with the cops struggling to climb a wall, just to remind ourselves
that was so funny.
Dog.
That was so funny.
Serious. I love it.
In my head, I was thinking, why isn't Rosewood the one that's actually climbing the wall? Because he's lighter.
Exactly. But then how are you gonna get Taggart up?
Oh yeah.
We cut getting to the precinct. Putting one and one together. He's figuring out what's going on.
Right.
No one's told him anything.
Yeah, he's just figuring it out. Yeah. You remember that moment where Foley actually starts seeing that Taggart is climbing and then it's like,
yes, I'm gonna get there. Yes, actually, yes. Like we cut back to the cop still climbing the wall, and as he makes it over, this man's out here, cutting, laughing at him, and then, bam! Machine gun fire shuts up everything, dude. The music has been playing for the entire sequence, and it is shattered by the machine gun fire. It shatters the atmosphere. Whatever fun we're having is gone.
Yeah.
Fun fact though, with the whole machine gun fire, about 2 years later, Ronald Reagan would sign into law an anti-machine gun law. It gave gun owners a few protections, but it made machine guns illegal. So I think that's why you don't see as many machine guns in movies anymore. Because technically wouldn't make that much sense because there aren't that many machine guns around.
Because when I saw it, I was like, wait, why is this getting out a machine gun out of his boot?
Dog! They have Uzis. And I remember this in 80s movies. Everyone had an Uzi, dog. Everyone and their grandmother had an Uzi, dog.
Yes.
It's not just... Do you know what I mean?
Reagan was the president of the... Yes, it's the 80s, yes.
80s Reagan, yeah. So, yeah, fun fact.
Wow. That is insane.
Yeah. Anyway, they take out the gunners. They take out one or two gunners. And then once they take out the gunners that are trying to nail them, the music starts up again. Like, okay, that's enough seriousness now for now. You know, it's very interesting. Like, the very on-off of music is very interesting in this movie.
Also, I think a little detail that we might have overlooked or when we speak about is Rosewood's aim, though. This guy has great aim. Because he killed the guy that was going to kill Foley. So here, I guess we would say the sniper.
He's a straight sniper in this one, dog. He's like, freeze! Bah!
Bah! Like,
one shot.
Gone.
Dude, I knew. You're right. That's 100% true. It was crazy. It's not the only time. It's not the only time. Yeah. And while he's doing that, when he takes out the machine gunner, we cut We cut back to the precinct and we see the lieutenant is getting reports of gunfire, and he's suiting up with his brown on tweed suit. He gives an order for the cops to show up and pretends that all these cops are undercover. The cops that are already there. We cut back to.
You can say their butts.
Yes. This kind of shows that the lieutenant used to be more like Eddie Murphy at some point in his life. It kind of gives you that vibe.
Yes.
We cut back to the fight with funny, and where things are kind of funny and serious as the music comes to a stop.
There's two things that I wanted to say. Remember, I was telling you about tropes. This for me feels like Bad Boys 2. You go to a big house, the action starts from there. Like, you guys actually go there and go fetch this guy, you know. And also, that house kind of reminded me of the house in Iron Man 3, bro. Robert Downey goes to meet the fake Mandarin.
Yes.
It looks kind of like the similar house. I wonder if it's the same house.
I don't know, man, but I like your vibe, man. I like what you're saying because it's true. But it's like, to be fair, these movies came first, but that final fight house infiltration thing.
Yeah.
Face.
And there's a major gun showdown.
Yeah. Where it turns out some of the best interesting showdown places. Didn't Keanu have an end showdown in a house as well?
Where? In which movie?
The Key and Peele movie, Keanu.
Yes, did.
I think a mansion setting is actually a very cool final fight setting because there's so many things you can do there.
So many stuff. Like, I guess sort of like a cheat code for props.
Yes, because you can explain why everything is there.
Yeah.
And my God, do they break a lot of props. There's a scene where the cops, like, I'm like, this didn't have to happen. Where they like run over a fountain, and I'm like, well,
like it's like a convoy, and they start like hitting each other from the back.
Yes, why did that have to happen?
There's absolutely no reason. I just feel like this director just wanted a huge budget for nothing.
Break things. But I love it because it makes it feel so real. I could feel
No, it was really good. I can only imagine how people must have reacted when they saw it at the theaters back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Must have been mind-blowing because I remember the first time I was mind-blown like that when it comes to car chase scenes. It was in Fast 5, bro. I was like, whoa. This is crazy. Like when they were taking out the safe.
Yeah.
And they were pushing that.
Oh, yes.
I had never seen anything like it ever.
True.
You know? So I feel like moments like these maybe were not as popular back then. So when we started seeing something like that, I'm sure the crowd went crazy, wild.
Probably, man. And also, don't forget about how great the Matrix 2 highway chase is as well.
Yeah, that took like, what, 8 months to make?
Yeah. There's a unique, it's all about being unique, I guess. It's not just about being good, it's about being unique.
Yes.
But yeah, great moments, definitely. Anyway, the music comes to a stop again with a shotgun fight as Zach and Axel start playing cat and mouse with each other. Because like thingamajiggy turns and Zach is just already there. Just yeah. And then things get tense until Axel gets a jump on him and takes him out, only to be hit by himself by Victor, the real threat. Because then Zach is like a sub-boss.
Yeah, so he basically killed the sub-boss.
Exactly.
Then someone shoots his arm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he leaves a trail of blood for thingamajiggy to follow.
Yes.
I really like that because at first I was like, come on, he's going to take him down with no damage. And I'm like, no, that's fine because he's not the main boss. Victor is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it makes sense. We cut to the police entering the building and the remaining goons giving up and trying to run away. There's a nice moment where, like, a thing where every single time Rosewood's been saying, freeze! And then they fucking shoot at him.
Yeah, and then Toyota's like, next time you do that, I'm going to kill you myself.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, we quickly cut to Victor and Axel as Victor has Jenny at gunpoint. Jenny, being a badass herself, hits him. And when he's distracted by the lieutenant showing up, it leaves Victor open. And after Victor takes the first shot, both Axel and the lieutenant nail him with lead. We even see the man fall down a flight of stairs just to be extra.
Yeah,
like, so you know he's dead. But yeah. Yeah. Fun fact, okay, no, I'm joking, it's not a fact, but I just think it's funny that in an 80s movie, you've never in your life seen the cops show up on time. You never watched the last.
Yes, I was thinking about the same thing actually. I was like, these guys are so efficient.
Oh, hey, dude, white neighborhoods.
Oh, well, he ain't lying. He ain't lying. He ain't lying.
Dog, it showed up in time. But yeah. But anyway, the crazy long sequence finally ends. Boom. 20 minutes, I think. Yeah, 1 hour and 34 minutes. We get an exterior shot of the house surrounded by cops and one ambulance. This sets up our aftermath. Okay, you know things are done now.
Right.
Taggart, Mr. Super Honest, is talking to the lieutenant and he's pointing at them. And it feels like snitching, which has already been set up by Taggart, you know, with Taggart's personality. And then the big boss comes in. The big boss wants Axel in handcuffs, but the lieutenant comes in clutch. He then does the exact thing that Axel did and tells a beautiful story, dog. Just the exact same story that he did at the midpoint. The big boss calls bullshit and turns to Taggart for the payoff. There's a dramatic pause, but then Taggart joins in on the lie. And the big boss, Chief Hubbard, accepts it and moves on. Axel, because he's basically the trickster archetype, has decides to squeeze in one more favor and sweet talks the lieutenant by threatening him to stay in Beverly Hills. It's like, look, I'm gonna need you to sweet talk my chief, but otherwise I'll be here forever. Yeah. And then lieutenant's like, all right, deal. 1 hour 38 minutes. Axel has his bags packed, his little duffel thing, his little fucking laundry basket. What do you even call that bag? And he's headed out when he's met by Taggart and Rosewood, who have to make sure he leaves. Their entire job is to make sure you get the hell out of here.
Imagine, man. But another, what do you want to call these things? I guess maybe Easter egg or something that really started being copied by other filmmakers over the years is Rush Hour. Like the first Rush Hour. Remember Chris Tucker?
Yeah.
Had two guys that he was assisting on a particular case. And it's like with Eddie Murphy here and these two guys, same thing. It's like it started here and every other movie is copied it afterwards.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I feel like the archetype may have started with maybe 2048, maybe. But definitely, yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
But yeah. Axel, played by Eddie Murphy, is hilarious as he thanks them for everything they've done with the dialogue. I love it so much. He gives them once they're like, no, we'll pay for the hotel. He's like, buy me 2 robes, and then he gives it to them. Their money. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I love it.
Taggart says, what did Taggart say? He says, no, you'll have something to remember me. Well, I don't need the talk. It's like, dude, I already have these.
I've got 3. What are you talking about?
That was such a black thing to do, though.
Dude, we even get proof of how they've changed in the dialogue and they start to go with the flow more.
Yeah.
It's a nice ending where it's like, yeah, let's go to a bar or whatever. And to prove the low-key Lucifer archetype, the final line of the movie is Axel saying, "Trust me." Do you know what I mean? Like, you get to know.
Yeah.
It just proves it.
Mm.
Yeah, that's how the movie ends. Cool. Now I'm gonna go into this long thing.
Okay, it's your thing, man.
This movie has always sat excellently in my mind as a kid, and now as a grown-up, it holds up even better. This is a fun movie that never forgets that it's a comedy. No farting jokes, all great humor, kind of like "Oh Brother, How Art Thou?" You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm reminded that they don't make shit like this anymore. I am grateful that I put this movie on the list. Now, as a detective movie, this would be a terrible movie.
Yes.
I noticed before that this movie has no mystery. There's no back and forth.
Yeah, and like there's not much, there's no sense of danger that much.
Yeah.
With Alex, because he comfortably goes into like villains' lairs and meets villains before he should, and he's like this black guy just walking around talking to villains like it's nothing. Like, no ways. That doesn't make
He
sense.
follows like one clue, I think, maybe one clue at most, two clues.
Yeah.
He follows Jenny to get a name, then he gets the name, and then he breaks into Mikey's work, and everything else is pretty much solved. It's a terrible detective story. This is nothing like Prisoners. Can you imagine if Prisoners was like this? What movie would it be?
Yeah.
Now, I have a theory that this, ladies and gentlemen, is not a detective movie. What this is something I'm going to call a black savior movie. Hear me out. Now,
okay.
Now, we all know what a white savior movie is,
yes.
Right?
For those who do not know, can you just break it down, please?
Yes. Now, what I'm talking about with white savior movies, I'm talking about Dangerous Minds, Racing the Sun, which is a great movie. I love it so much.
The Blind Side. Remember The Blind Side with Sandra Bullock?
Exactly. Any movie where a teacher or a coach shows up and turns things around. Other examples being Coach Carter, Cool Runnings, Freedom Writers, the one with Swank.
I thought about Freedom Writers, yeah.
Yeah. Now
Lean on Me by Morgan Freeman. Lean on Me.
Yes, Lean on. Well done. Yes, I was gonna say that. Yes.
Yeah.
I would also add Lean on Me as a white savior movie too. Major Pain is also arguably a white savior movie too, but a comedy. Because it's not actually about race.
Okay. Like any person could have been in that role from any race.
Exactly. Generally, a white savior movie adds an element of order to disorder and will use a clever means to create order. The opposite happens in a black savior movie. Those being movies like Sister Act 1, Sister Act 2, Dead Poet Society, Renaissance Man. What makes it unique is that it specifically adds an element of disorder to the situation, which creates positive change. Sister Act, the nuns are too stiff. Here comes Whoopi Goldberg to smooth it out. Do you know what I mean? Sister Act 2, the nuns are too stiff to reach the kids. Here comes Whoopi Goldberg to cause some chaos, to smooth things out.
Right.
Generally, this will not be about breaking the rules. It will be about adding heart to whatever you're doing or adding spirit. There's even an element of modernization sometimes.
Modernization? As
in for like old school thinking will sometimes be rigid, but then they'll add new school thinking, like Patch Adams, or again,
yes, like using unorthodox methods to do your jobs though.
Yes, but it turns out that unorthodox method actually in the modern times is now it's just acceptable. It's almost strange we didn't do it before. You know what I mean? That's what I kind of mean by modernization.
Right.
And this is that type of movie. The detective is still blown right through this movie. What am I trying to say? Detective architect. Can you put it like this? Axel is never Axel is never shut down. He technically never fails because that's not the point. This is not a procedural. It's a genre twist. And when you think about it like that, it masterfully achieves its goals. Because remember, Axel, right? What he does is in these types of movies, you change the people. And who does he change? He changes the lieutenant. He changes Taggart. He changes the whole precinct.
Yes.
You know, he changes the people. That's his job. He goes there to make a change.
No, you're absolutely right. And think about it. If his friend was not killed, then he wouldn't have met these people. So everything is working full circle, I guess.
Exactly. And it's just to act. Remember, Whoopi Goldberg is chased by the mafia. And she hides. Yeah. You've seen Sister Act 1, right?
No, I haven't.
Oh, so I'm talking gibberish to you.
Yeah, because I'm like, what?
Oh, yeah. Whoopi Goldberg is chased by the mafia and she goes into hiding. So she hides with the nuns, pretending to be a nun. And then she, of course, adds her, black girl magic.
This kind of sounds like The Fighting Temptations, but okay, I hear you. What The Fighting Temptations? What's that movie again?
Well, actually, no, that is a movie. What's the one with Cat Williams?
With Cat Williams? What does he do in there?
No, that's not a good example. That's not a good example. Never mind.
What's this movie? Sorry, man, I forgot. What were we talking about just now? What's the what's the thing that you just said now? And then I told you that it reminds me of a movie again.
Fighting Temptations?
Yeah, you remember the movie with Cuba Gooding Jr. and Beyonce?
No, that is Fighting Temptations. You're right.
Oh, I was right. Yes, that movie. Because Cuba Gooding Jr. was not a producer. He was not a music producer, but he lied and gave the impression that he was a music producer and all of that.
It changed them. Yeah, it changed everyone around him, right?
Yes, it did.
It kind of added disorder to the order. I would add it hard.
100%.
Yeah, that's the vibe. Yes. Where things are so strict and you're like, it doesn't have to be like this. And then you kind of change things.
Yes.
Kind of like, no, not the, I was going to say the holdovers would be the opposite, I guess. Because the teacher is the one that's strict, but then he changes. So it would be like, nah, never mind. But you get the vibe, though. You get the idea.
Everybody changes in that movie. Not everybody, but the main characters.
Everyone changes in their own way. It's not a thing where like teacher comes in and changes people. Yeah.
Yes.
But you get the idea, though. You get the vibe, though.
No, yeah, I get what you mean exactly. I honestly get what you're saying, and I agree with you. That's actually the impression that I also got, that one man was so. He was a needed asset to that precinct, like to that specific precinct, because they were too strict by the book. They are competent, but Alex coming in was just the vibe, you know.
Exactly. Or like, what's another example would be The Replacements, the football movie with Keanu Reeves, if I'm correct.
Right.
Yeah. There's an example where like all the guys they bring in are like wacky and weird, and because of that kind of makes them create new ideas. So it adds an element of disorder to the order. You know what I mean? And that changes how they feel. Whereas Denzel Washington's one, what's the Denzel Washington one, Fighting the Giants?
Remember the Titans?
Remember the Titans. There we go, Fighting the Giants. But yes, that would be a white savior one because he comes in and he brings order. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To the chaos. So, you know what I mean? So there's like a, you know what I mean? Like two different archetypes there. Anyway, as a detective movie, I consider this to be a 6 out of 10. But as this Coach Carter, Black Savior, teacher, coach type movie, it's a solid 8 out of 10.
Wow.
It has to juggle a lot and has little time to do it, but it does it really masterfully well and skips all the parts, like you said with the stunt man, in order to hold up, in order to really create something that's better than the sum of its parts.
I think an 8 from my side as well. I think it's well deserved. I think there's, like I said, this movie has so many things that would influence modern society.
Yes.
Modern filmmaking.
Yes.
Because a lot of films, like I said, like when I watched this out, I saw a lot of films that are actually quite popular to this day, and it makes me realize why this movie is such a classic, because every other director was probably inspired by it in some way, shape, or form. So it works for me for the most part. There's just like moments, like the stunt moment and certain things that made it not to be number one.
Yeah,
I mean, so not to get like it's 10 out of 10, but apart from that, really good.
It deliberately flies over those parts. You know what I mean? Like the part with the car. You're right. That's silly, but it reflects who Foley is. It reflects his personality well. Even though you could argue it could have been tightened up and made it a little bit more clever, but you know what? It still works and achieves. So the pieces may be janky, but the overall picture is beautiful.
Yes.
Beverly Hills Cop does well. It deserves its 8 out of 10.
100%. 100%. And I guess also it was smart for them not to include him having a child or a wife.
Yeah.
How do you explain you just going to Beverly Hills?
Yeah. Would have slowed things down.
Yeah.
Slowed things down. Would have destroyed the pacing.
And
you have a guy like, what's his face? Jeffrey's character, that actor, famous actor, only there for one scene to do some exposition and then disappear. They could have given him 2 scenes. Maybe he shows up again. Nope. Gone. They were efficient storytelling. You only see the captain.
When you're saying Jeffrey, who are you talking about? Jeffrey Wright?
No, man. No, the actor, the one that was playing his partner, that was like in the precinct talking scene.
Oh yes, 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 yes.
You see him for one scene and he's out. He's out.
Yeah. Is this the same guy who the lieutenant talked to, like where he's holding a phone and it's like, where are they? He's like, I don't know where they are.
Paul Reiser, after the
Oh, the locker scene.
yes, the locker scene.
Yeah.
You see him for one scene and he's out. You don't even see him for the part where he's not even there to be like, hey man, sorry about your friend. Nah, you just see the captain, the captain yelling at him, don't touch this case. I'll give you your leave. Like normally logically speaking, what should have happened there is him and the partner talk, they go to the captain, they go back to the precinct, then the captain then explains, and then he applies for his leave or something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that happens. He talks to the captain straight away, leave, out. We're out. You know what I mean?
It's as if they knew they were gonna have a sequel. I don't know.
Yeah, but the point is slicing. Kill your feelings, slice that shit. Make it as possible. Get rid of the fat.
And it didn't even confuse us. Like we just understood that we're watching because of this person.
Exactly. It's fantastic, dude.
Yeah.
Cannot emphasize it enough. This movie was a gift.
Yeah, no, it's one of the best movies ever made, and I think Eddie Murphy knows. I think it probably made him an even bigger star than he already was.
Yeah.
The fact that a black man can influence the precinct, like I mean, dude, to take it even far, there's a part where the black guy is talking to me. It's like, oh, brother, why are you talking like that? Don't talk like this. Make sure, like, those are moments where you realize that this is improvised. Like, there's no way this is in the script.
It was like he did that voice. He does the white guy voice. It doesn't stand up. Hey man, how you doing? Like that whole thing. And I just looks at him, touched. I would have looked at him like that.
Yeah.
God, that was fantastic. Yes. Oh my God, you are 100% correct, dude. But now I'm a bit nervous though, because now if you think about it, right? He, what's his face? Is a new director. So now will the same movie happen? Because one of the reasons we did this movie is because as of this year, maybe even this month actually. Oh no, expected July 3rd apparently. Yeah, it's not directed by the same guy. It is now directed by Mark Molloy.
Molloy as in M-O-L-O-I.
M-O-L-L-O-Y.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know how to say that.
Molloy or okay. Yeah. Interesting. I don't know. That's a good question. And here's the thing. You see how these guys that did Cobra Kai handled Cobra Kai as a sequel to the Karate Kid? Yes, they had all the footage and whatever, but they didn't make it like they didn't force to make it like a carbon copy of the Karate Kid. So if whoever is directing it respects the craft so much that he doesn't want to make a parody of the franchise, he should, yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm checking out his stuff. I'm a bit nervous now.
Why?
It's his first movie. Over here, Johnny Walker. Nissan.
Think about Michael Bay, man, and Bad Boys. You know.
Dog, how is this your first one, dog? This man's been doing commercials. These are commercials.
I guess they have faith in him.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, is there anything else you want to say before we...
That was it. Hey, someone bought my book, which is cool. I hope you guys add onto the list.
Nice.
Can't wait to get some reviews on that. I'm excited. I hope to get some responses.
Guys, please make sure to leave a comment down below on Rob's on Google Play. Give an honest review so that Rob can know exactly what you guys think about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, but guys, this is African Frame. At this point, it's 20 minutes past 12, so yeah, this is what we do. By the way, let us know your thoughts. Did you guys like Alex the most? Did you guys like Rosewood? Did you like Taggart? Who tickled your fancy the most in this movie? Does it hold up? Do you feel like it's cringy or not? Please let us know in the comments below. But for myself, Mr. Extrodin, and Rob Sibeko, the author of Visions War, Thank you so much, guys. But we out.
Thank you.